Okay, folks, I think we are live. Give me just a minute here. I'm going to get my screen pulled up. We're still about 30 seconds, a minute before the hour, and people are just getting ready to roll into the live broadcast room. So would you give me a little confirmation over in the chat box? First of all, if you're viewing this webinar on a mobile device, on your phone especially, it'll work. It should work. But if it's at all possible for you to get to a computer, a desktop or a laptop, you're going to have a better experience. You'll be able to utilize the chat without it getting in the way of everything else. You'll be able to see the slides and the examples that we show you a lot better. If all you have is your phone, it's better that you get the information on the phone than nothing, so stick around. But if it's possible for you to log out and come right back on a desktop or laptop computer, I think you're going to get much better results, or you're going to have a better experience from that. All right, I'm seeing lots of comments come in right now. Pauline, Daniel, Tina, Jan, Annette, awesome. Wow, we got a lot of people here. Hey, Brian, it's good to see you. Very, very good. So we're going to test one more thing. I am going to make sure that you guys can see my screen. So right now you should only be seeing my webcam. And now I have my screen turned on. Would you guys please let me know if you can, in fact, see my screen? And I'm going to give a few more little introductions, and then we're going to dive in. We got a lot of really cool content, a lot of cool case study stuff to show you. So just tell me yes, I can see your screen in the comments. And yes, I'm seeing yes, yep. Hello from Florida. Good to see you. Hi, Connie. Hey, Mary, Eleanor, Rachel, Suzanne. Oh, my goodness. All right, the comments are coming in so fast. I absolutely cannot see it. By the way, let me say one more thing. If you lose your connection, if you're on a bad internet connection, you lose your connection, try to refresh the screen. There should be something at the top of your screen that says reconnect. You should be able to either use that or just refresh your browser or log out and log back in. And hopefully that should pick up live right where you left off. So thank you for being here live on this presentation. I'm so excited for you guys to get this information. Over the next 60 to 90 minutes, I have a very special guest on this webinar with us today. She has gotten some great results from one of my trainings. In fact, she has gotten 397 leads in the last 30 days with no website, with no autoresponder, and with virtually zero technical setup whatsoever. And she literally started with 0 people on her list. So she did indeed go from 0 to 397 leads in just 30 days. And we're going to show you what she's been doing. And I'm going to break this down for your business as well, because I want to be very clear. Some of you guys, tell me real quickly, because I'm going to try and give examples throughout the webinar of how this will work for your business. Would you please tell me, I don't need to know the name of your company, but would you tell me what type of thing you're selling? If you're in health and wellness, or if you're in travel, or if you are in, real estate, or if you're in financial planning, or if you sell business opportunities, or I don't need to know if you're an affiliate marketer. Right? I don't need to know if you're a network marketer. I want to know what type of product are you promoting. So I'm seeing skincare, essential oils. I'm seeing health and wellness. I'm seeing a lot of health and wellness folks. I see financial literacy, personal development, financial, video marketing, okay, travel, health and wellness. Boy, those they're coming in so fast. Hold on a minute. Let me keep reading here. Senior care, okay. Travel memberships, okay. So I can tell you this. These are going fast, but I have yet to see one where the strategies behind what my student has done, I have yet to see one of these examples that you've typed in where what we're going to share with you won't work for your particular product. But you're going to have to think outside the box a little bit, and I will try to give you some examples as we go through the webinar. You're going to have to think outside the box a little bit in terms of how do I model what this person is showing me, because she is obviously in health and wellness. So we're going to give you some examples for her business that have worked in health and wellness. And the small-minded person would come to this and say, oh, well, so this is only for health and wellness. Clearly this won't work for makeup or travel. Not at all. Okay. If you take the concepts and you model them, I promise they will work. And I'll prove that to you by trying to give you examples throughout this particular webinar. So let me take a quick second here to introduce our very special guest. And I'm here in about 2 seconds, I'm going to ask her to come on and tell her story a little bit and ask you guys to introduce her. So she came into one of my products a while back, and she started implementing this, and I'm going to let her tell a little bit more of her story. But she and her husband Brian are, I believe it's husband. She can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But they work full time in a network marketing business from home, and they wanted to bring their business online. She started implementing these strategies. Didn't want to have a ton of technical setup, and so she's gotten some great results with this. So I'm going to bring Ray on right now. This is Ray Perman, and I'm going to have her say hello. Would you guys all give a big hello, a big hi to my friend Ray? I am going to turn off our screens real quick so you guys can see her. Ray's husband, Brian, is in the chat. He just said husband of 23 years, so thank you. I never really clarified. I assumed since you had the same last name that you guys were married, but who knows, right? So hello, Ray. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Tyson.
Awesome. Everybody is saying hello. I don't know if you can see the comments or not in your chat, but thank you again for being here. I want to give you guys, before we get started with Ray's story and we show you, because we're going to dive in, Ray has been very generous to agree to show you behind the scenes. Like, we're not just going to talk theory. Like, we're actually going to pull up an actual ad that she's run on Facebook. We're going to talk about what she's doing that's actually working. So if you can dedicate a full 60 to 90 minutes, we shouldn't go more than 90, but the next 60 to 90 minutes should give us plenty of time to really give you a deep dive into exactly what she's doing, to be able to answer your questions and to show you how this will translate for your business regardless of what you are promoting. Okay, so try right now to turn off all distractions, turn off Facebook, turn off your cell phone, anything that would distract you from paying attention to what Ray's got to say and to her story, so that you can really pay attention, take notes, and dive deep onto what we're going to learn. So Ray, I want to ask you a little bit about your background before we dive in, to give people some context. First of all, what was going on in your business or in your life prior to purchasing some of my training that, I don't know if there was a frustration or something that caused you to say, I need to seek for more? Tell us your story a bit.
Yeah, so that's exactly right, Tyson. My husband and I, as you mentioned, do this full time, and we have been for 15 years. And so times have changed. Things have changed in the industry and our company, and we were really hitting a brick wall. We weren't getting the right answers from our upline or even other people in our company. They were kind of telling us to do the same thing and expect a different result. And we know that's the definition of insanity. So my husband and I just said, there's got to be another way. There's got to be another mentor or teacher out there that can help us get to where we want to be in our business. And that's when we found you.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about, when you purchased your first training course or whatever from me and, decided to go in. Was it I am fully on board, I totally believe in this guy, or were there any skepticisms? Were there any kind of, I don't know, I'm hesitant? Tell me a little bit about kind of what was going on there.
Well, I'm always skeptical. So yeah. I, have seen a lot of things in my career, and a lot of people promising things over my career, and still never found someone who could actually deliver what they were promising. So I came in very skeptical, and my husband even more skeptical, because I had seen one of your YouTube videos, and he hadn't seen them at all. And I just said, let's just give him a shot, honestly, because I just liked you. I trusted you, and the value that you gave me was far beyond what I ever could have imagined and what I had gotten previously from anyone else, including in my own company. So I was pretty blown away and decided, okay, well, what have we got to lose? Let's just try, and have success with Tyson.
Okay. So after you finally kind of made the decision, was there any one thing that made you kind of go, all right, I'll get over my skepticism, my hesitation, and I'll give it a go? Was there any kind of thing or moment that caused that click for you to say, I'm going to dive in and go ahead?
Yeah, actually there was. It was really when you were speaking and you were teaching, in what I was watching, I understood what you were saying. And I felt like up until that point, I got a lot of information from other people, but it wasn't clear. I didn't see how that input could really help me to get where I wanted to be. And when
Okay.
you were teaching, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I got to try this.
All right. So the real test of any training, and why everybody is here, is there are some trainers that things sound great on paper and they're good teachers, but what they're teaching doesn't always produce results. And so I know that's the real reason people are here. Before we dive into how you've gotten your results, can you tell us a little bit about what your results are today, as specifically as it results to the training that you've gotten from me? Not necessarily, I mean, because I know you've probably been in network marketing, or maybe you've gotten company training and so forth, but specifically as it relates to the stuff that you've implemented from my course, particularly the 100 Leads in 30 Days training, what kind of results have you gotten specifically as it relates to that?
This is very specific, and only from implementing what you taught in that course. Again, I was skeptical. I'm like, no way, 100 leads in 30 days. Like, that is,
All right.
I'm going to test it out just to see if this is really possible, and followed it step by step. And as of, my post, which was the 15th of June, we had 397 leads. It's amazing because we have 452 today, and that was only 5 days ago.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's already grown almost 60 people in just the last 5 days, which is awesome. We've set over 130 appointments so far, contacted 40 people, which is amazing out of the appointments that we have set so far.
Awesome.
5 immediate clients, people who became clients right away, and then over 165 people have joined our community, where we're talking to them about, their next step. And it's just been incredible to see. And now duplicating that in our team is really exciting.
Awesome. That's great. So first of all, congratulations to you. And I want to say to everybody listening, I want to say a couple of things. First of all, we're going to dive in and show you kind of what's working for Ray. I saw Sherry said they don't give you the nook and crannies of what they're teaching. Well, Sherry, we're going to do our best in 60 to 90 minutes to show you everything that is working. I mean, obviously, we can't take everything that Ray has learned in a 7-hour video course and give it to you here over 60 to 90 minutes. We'll do our best, but I would ask you, Sherry, if we tried to keep you here for 7 hours, would you stay? Probably not. So for anybody who has that kind of skeptical attitude, I would say either change your expectations, because we're going to do our best to give you a ton of value here. But no, we can't give you everything, because Ray went through a 6 to 7 hour video course and implemented stuff along the way. Okay. So if you're looking for some magic pill where we can impart all of our knowledge, everything that Ray has done over the course of several weeks in 60 minutes, then you simply don't have the right expectations. And I would encourage you to just get off the webinar if that's what you're thinking. Okay. So here's the deal. I want to share. I'm going to share a lot of secrets as we go throughout this training today. And here in just a minute, I'm going to ask Ray to share her screen. We're going to ask her to show one of her best performing ads. But I want to give you one of the biggest secrets around what Ray is doing correctly that I see so many people doing wrong. You'll notice that Ray said, not only did we build a list of like over 400 people now that she can communicate with. Those leads are all coming to her, and I'll show you this in a chart. They're reaching out to her inside of Facebook Messenger, which is one of the most powerful ways right now to actually get people to reach out to you, to communicate with you. It's one of the most engaging platforms. People are opening up messages on Facebook Messenger way more than they are on Facebook. Than they are in email. And they're clicking way more than they are on email. So my biggest recommendation to a new person is learn how to build a list right inside of Facebook Messenger. Now, the second thing that you'll notice Ray is doing, and this is the big secret I want you all to get, her focus, and what you're going to see in the ads that we show you as an example. It's probably my wife walking around in the background. So the big secret I want you guys to take away is that what you'll see is Ray is not, even though she's in a health and wellness company, her ads are not about a product, right? There's not pictures of the product. She's not talking about the ingredients. And in many cases, she's not even like showing before and after pictures and that kind of thing. Instead, she's focusing on building an audience of people who would want her product or service, because she recognizes that most people are probably not going to buy your product immediately, okay? In fact, I want you to think about this for a minute. If I was in a room full of 1,000 people and I said, how many of you are in the market right now to buy a new car? Studies have shown that only about 3% of the room, only about 30 people out of 1,000 would say, yes, I'm ready. Well, what about the other 970 people? Does that mean they're never going to buy a car? No, it just means that now's not the right time, or they're not in the market right now. So the most important thing you could do if you were selling cars, for example, is to think, how can I build a list of everybody who would eventually be interested in buying a car, whether it's today, a month from now, 3 years from now, so that I can continue and stay in front of them, so that when the time is finally right for them, whether it's because the money is not right today, whether it's because timing is not quite right, whether it's because I'm already doing some other thing and I'm just not going to buy it now, whatever it is, whether it's just I'm a slow buyer and I just need to be warmed up a bit more, whatever that reason is, there's only about 3% of the population that is going to be a hyper buyer and say, all right, whatever you got, I'm buying it today. So the smartest thing Ray has done is she said, number one, I'm going to build a list of people inside of Messenger so I can keep communicating and keep building the relationship. Number two, she has said, I'm going to get these people into a community where they can get to know me better. So notice she said out of 400 people, Ray, how many people did you say are now in your Facebook group, have joined your Facebook group?
166.
Okay, so she's had about 166 people that are now in a Facebook group with her, where she can, on a daily basis, she can interact with them. She could maybe do a Facebook Live. She could just post a quote, something that those people say, wow, I really like her. Or more importantly, a person who has gotten results from her product might share a story in that group, and that is now the catalyst that pushes that other 3 or 4 people that were on the fence over the edge. And if Ray's initial efforts were, all I'm going to do is focus on getting signups off of my ads right away, and I'm going to alienate everybody else, she would be playing such a short-term and non-profitable game. And so is anybody, first of all, would you guys give me a Y in the comment box? A yes. Number one, if that makes sense. And if anybody has had kind of an aha moment, give me a yes. And then while they're doing that, Ray, I'm going to take my face off the screen. Would you go ahead and share your screen for us? And we'll make sure that everybody can see your screen. And if you would, what I'd like to do is maybe bring up one of your best performing ads. And I want to kind of walk through what's working well. I'll let you show it, and then I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. So I'm scrolling down here. Would you guys, while Ray is bringing up her screen, would you just give us a yes, a Y, if you can see Ray's screen at the moment? And let's see. So I'm seeing a lot of questions. So a few folks are getting ahead of themselves. They're saying like, all right, if I'm selling skincare products or beauty products, or if I'm in travel, how would you tell people this, or how would you do that? So do this for me. Just kind of hang tight. Don't get ahead of yourself. See if you get some ideas from what Ray is going to show you. And then I will do my best to answer your questions, things that don't make sense, to fill in the gaps for you. Okay. So I'm seeing yeses. People are saying, I see it. So Ray, if you would take a second just to kind of walk us through one of your best performing ads and some of the results, maybe show us some of the engagement, and I'll kind of let you go from there, and I'll chime in if there's something I want you to say more about. Okay.
Okay. Excellent. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah. Your microphone's coming through just fine for me.
So this is one of the best performing. It was the first ad that we placed, or post that we boosted actually, after taking the 130 course with Tyson. And I didn't know what would happen, but not only placing this ad or boosting this post was I thinking about getting clients. I was really thinking about how to build my list, like Tyson said, that we can talk to people later on, because that really was never my philosophy. I was like, get them on a program and, honestly, oftentimes lose them because I didn't build a relationship up front. And so having these people as subscribers for me and going into our community helps me to build that relationship, just like Tyson said. So in the future, if they are a slow buyer, which I'm a slow buyer, it took me 15 years to find Tyson. So I totally get that. I just want them in my community. So my husband and I just put together this ad. I'll show you what it looks like. I pulled it up here earlier so you can see the whole ad. So this is what the ad looks like. And this is exactly how I, show my team exactly what I did, because they're like, what did you do? I didn't advertise our product. I didn't talk about our product. All I did was talk about a result that our product can give us, right? Eating clean. Now, our product is attached to this Eat Clean challenge, but we don't say anything about that until we get the person on the phone. So it says 217 comments, 30 shares, 88 reactions. And you'll see here in my ManyChat dashboard, I brought it up from May 14th to June 15th, 397 people that we've been able to stay in contact with. One of the things that I learned from Tyson and his training was looking at the relevance. I don't know how to find it now. And this is the beauty for me, because I was not very savvy with all of the behind the scenes Facebook. And being a student of Tyson's, I just took it step by step. I literally haven't even gotten into the next step, like JSON and, all those other parts of it. I just wanted to perfect the very first thing that he said to do. And I followed it exactly. And then these are the results that we have. 349 out of this, but it ended a little sooner. I didn't know we were going to get the results. It ended June 3rd. So I had to start another one June 3rd through the 14th. So the results are combined between the two. $100 spent. Let me tell you, the 5 clients that we have, we made more than the $100 that we spent. Not to mention the hundreds of other people that we have in the pipeline to still talk to.
Right, and plus because this is network marketing. I assume they're on a continuity program with your product, so it's not just a 1-month payment. Right. This is people who should buy over and over, and if they ever decide to become promoters of the product, potentially they could be a team builder down the road if they love the product and also want to promote it to other people, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I'm going to interrupt real quickly here and talk about just a couple of things. First of all, I did see somebody asking in the chat box, like they're saying, what product or whatever did she go through? So I have a lot of products, but specifically the product that Ray went through to get results was a product called Attract 100 Leads in 30 Days. I'll tell you what, I do not want today. I am going to make you guys an offer for anybody who wants to get in to that program if you don't already own it. In fact, I'll do this so you don't have to wait until the end of the webinar. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen now, but I don't want this webinar to be one big pitch fest. Okay. I want you guys to be able to get value and to be able to see what's working. But I did see some people saying, well, what course did she go through? Specifically the course that got her the majority of these results. Am I correct in this, Ray? Because I know you own several of my trainings, but this is the primary one?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the course, and I'll tell you more at the end of the webinar about what all's included. But just so you know, I did a promotion for this several weeks ago, and then we shut down the cart where you couldn't get it. And because Ray has gotten such great results, we decided to do this webinar. And for the people who are on this webinar, I'm opening it up again until Friday. So the cart is now open at the discounted rate. This normally sells for $1,000. You can get it at 50% off, which means you can either make 3 payments of $199 or 1 payment of $497. And I am certain that you will get at least 100 leads in 30 days. We do have a money back guarantee, which I'll tell you about later. Like I said, I don't want this to be all about pitching the product. I will make you an offer and tell you everything that's included. But for those of people who are like, well, the 3% who are the hyper buyers, like, tell me what it is now, Tyson. I just wanted to give you the link so that you could know what product did actually help Ray get these results. And then we're gonna dive right back into her results now, and I'll just leave this link on the screen. So I do see a few questions from people coming in real quick. Let me see here. Somebody said, yeah, we're going to show the language that was used for the ad in a minute, Lee. Asking about target audience. Lorraine is asking about target audience. So let's start with you real quick. How did you determine who you were going to target for your ad? Let's talk about that, because target audience is very important.
Well, that's a great question, because for 15 years, I thought anybody with a body was my target audience. Right. And again, plugging into Tyson and some of his other courses, you really got me clear on knowing your avatar and your target market. And so my husband and I discussed it, and we realized that our target was female exclusively. Okay. We could go male and female, but it was exclusively women between the ages of 28 and 55. And then I lowered it to 22, only based on my actual client base. My clients are 22 to 55.
Very good. And by the way, I don't have time to go. There's a training inside. It's a Fast Start training that you'll get access to called the Target Audience Fast Start. And it goes real deep in one of the things that it teaches, and I'm guessing this is where Ray got that, is one of the things I tell you to do when you think about who should I target is start by looking at who's already buying my product. Like, who are some of the people who've already gotten great results? Because number one, you know that those people already are attracted to your product. But number two, you have stories, case studies of existing people who've gotten results that you can share with other people. So that's one of the very first places that I recommend you start. And that's the simplest tip I can give you. But there's a lot of other things, because then you want to start finding people who actually have the desire for what you offer. And and I show you all of that, how to do that in the course. But that kind of gives you a simple answer that we can kind of cover on this webinar. So the next question, let's go ahead and dive into the language of the ad, because some people are asking about the ad language. So if you want to share your screen again, Ray, I'm going to see if we can see it. There we go. Okay. So do this, click see more, and why don't you go ahead and just read the entire ad to us from start to finish. Will it let you click see more?
No, let me do some here. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, let me share my screen. I think I may have it pulled up here.
Okay.
And would you guys tell me real quickly here? Can you all see my screen? And is this the same ad copy? Because I took a screenshot of it previously. So I'm going to let you go ahead and just read through it. And then I'm going to stop after you're done. And I'm going to break down a few of the things that you did right really well with this to help people with their posts on Facebook as well. So go ahead and just read straight through it for the people who maybe their screen is kind of fuzzy or they can't read it real well.
Okay. So, hey friends, who wants to do a 6-day Eat Clean challenge with me? The challenge is for 50 ladies who want to break out of a rut, lose weight, gain energy, or jumpstart a new healthy lifestyle. It starts Mondays. Here's what's included: an Eat Clean challenge meal plan, tasty recipes, shopping suggestions, fun, personal coaching with me, and up to $500 in cash for the winners. It's all done online in our private Facebook group to make it easy and fun, but we only have 27 spots available and they'll fill up fast. Message me for more details. Comment, I'm in below.
Okay. Very good. So I want to talk about a few things that that Ray did really well. Number one, somebody was asking what her product is. Do you notice, number one, the ad itself doesn't talk about the product. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, yes, it matters what the product is in the back end, because you want to make sure that your ad is eventually going to lead toward the product. Of course, that's important, right? But in her case, the ad is not the purpose of an ad on Facebook. In most cases, it's not to sell the product. Okay. Here's what most people think their ad should look like. Okay. Most people think the ad should be, hey, we're running a big sale. Let me show you pictures of our product. Hey, I've got a skincare product. Look at the pretty packaging or the bottle. And then they want to talk about the ingredients and what the product is in the ad itself. Now, in some cases, if you are targeting a group of people who are hyper buyers, they're in that 3% who are going to buy right away. And if your product is super simple to demonstrate, then yes, a demonstration ad of your product can work. But in many cases, what it does is that it alienates a lot of the people who are not ready to buy right now. And what you lose is the ability to build that audience of people so that you can sell to way more than just 3% down the road. Ray is in this for the long game. And ads like this are playing that short game, advertising kind of strategy, which is not what I'm all about, okay? And so Ray, the first thing she did really well was that she said, all right, I'm going to attract the kind of person who would want my product. Now, she says exactly who it's for. This challenge is for who? It's for 50 ladies. So immediately, if a guy happens to see this, he's going to go, all right, I'm not even going to bother with this because you guys, you have to understand when someone understands that you are speaking specifically to them. Let me just give you an example. I bet the people who are on this webinar right now, who are network marketers in health and wellness, their ears are perked up about 10 times more than the people who are who are affiliate marketers and they're promoting, something else, info products or whatever. That doesn't mean that this won't work for you, but specificity matters, because when she says this is for women, they're automatically going, okay, this is specific to me and my problems and what I'm dealing with. And I'm going to be in a community of other women who struggle with my same problems and frustrations. So specificity is a big part of what she did well here. She talks about not about her product, but about their problems. It's for 50 ladies who want what? Break out of a rut, lose weight, gain energy, jumpstart a new healthy lifestyle. So if it's somebody who's struggling with the fact that they're overweight, they're frustrated that they don't have a lot of energy, whatever those problems are, she's speaking more to the problems that she can help solve, not about what her product is and why it's great. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Ray has given people a reason to reach out to her specifically, because the truth is, guys, she is in a very big network marketing company. There are hundreds of thousands probably of distributors of her exact same product. So if all she did was say, come buy my product, they would go, oh, well, I've heard of that company. My friend so-and-so promotes it. I'll just buy from her, right? Doesn't give her any kind of advantage to promote or to get people to reach out to her over every other distributor. So here's what she did that was really smart. She said, when you join me in this clean eating challenge, it's going to start on Monday. By the way, deadline. Notice she's giving a deadline. We start on Mondays. So she's giving them a reason to act right now. That's important. Urgency is very important in your marketing. Then she's giving them some reasons why they would want to join her specifically. Okay. I'm going to give you a meal plan when you join in our Facebook group. You're going to get recipes. I'm going to give you shopping suggestions. So she's put together things that are proprietary to her and her team. So now anybody that joins her team, not only do they get these recipes that they're not going to get on anybody else's team if they join someone else, not only are they going to get the support from her and her group, they are also, if they decide that they want to build underneath her as a network marketer, they now have access to these exact same assets to say, hey, join our team and we're going to give you these. So she's created a duplicatable system. Does this make sense? Okay. And so, and I'm going to give you lots of examples of how you could do this for other, types of businesses here in just a little bit. But the final thing I really want you to take away from this ad, and the number one thing that I see people doing wrong in their ads, is that they ask for too much too soon. One of the biggest secrets of running a successful post or ad on Facebook one of the biggest secrets is to ask people to take a small, logical next step. Do you notice she's not telling them, go to a product page and buy my product right now? She's not saying, pull out your wallet and give me money. All she's doing is saying, we have a free 6-day clean eating challenge. Now, how simple of a step is that? It's not a big commitment. It's only 6 days. Almost anybody could commit to something for just 6 days, right? So it's a 6-day clean eating challenge. It's free. All they have to do is reach out to her inside of her Facebook Messenger, and now she's got a lead that she can communicate with. And she's added even more urgency down here by saying, I'm only taking 27 people right now because I'm going to work with you. You know, that makes it exclusive. It gives it urgency. It makes it like, all right, she's going to be working with these people individually. Her time is important. I want to get in on this. And then she gives them a very clear call to action. This is another big mistake I see people make. They make an ad and they just assume that people will know what to do. She says, message me for more details or comment I'm in below. Okay. Now we're gonna go over your questions in a little bit. Try to save your questions until the end because they're just gonna get lost in the sea of other comments that I see coming in right now. So I promise anything we don't answer, we'll answer a little bit later on. But Ray, do you want to chime in? Is there anything I missed there before we talk a little bit more about kind of what happens after this post on Facebook? Sorry, I don't know if your audio's off. I can't hear you. Say that again.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Go right ahead.
Yes. No, that was perfect. I even learned some new things about it. Oh yeah, that does do that, doesn't it? So I'm taking notes.
Yeah. So real quickly here, some questions that are coming in. We'll try to answer a few of these. At the beginning, you say 50 ladies, and then at the end, you say 27 spots. So I'm assuming, Cindy, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Ray, but I'm assuming that you're doing this with 50 people, but some of the spots have already been filled. Is that the reason why you say that? That's
correct.
Okay, very good. So I'm doing the challenge with 50 ladies right now. We have 27 spots available out of the original 50. So it's letting them know we're going to work with 50 people. You'll be in this group with at least 50 other people. Do they have to buy a product in order for them to participate in this challenge with you, Ray?
Yes, there is a registration fee that comes with product.
Okay.
6 days worth of product.
So part of the 6-day clean eating challenge is for them to buy a product that will help them to do the clean eating challenge. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, but they don't have to buy the product in order to get in your Facebook group with you. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. So how are you enticing them to get into the Facebook group because the first step is to get them into Messenger to where you can communicate with them one-on-one. How are you enticing them, or what are you saying to them to get them to say, all right, I'll also join this community, this Facebook group with her to engage with her further?
So for the people who don't respond, we send them an invitation in Messenger to join the Facebook group. It's just a link to our Facebook group, and we tell them what's included in the group, what they can expect, and it's free to join. Okay. Many people just click that link and join. For the ones that we speak to, it's an added bonus, and we position it as a waiting room until their challenge starts. So if they come in on a Wednesday, they know the next challenge doesn't start until Monday. So it's a waiting room for them to get to know other people in the community.
Okay, very good. Now, I want to ask a few questions here of you that I think will help some other people also, and that is, are you how are you right now? Because you said you've signed up 5, 6 people, something like that. People already have purchased your product. You've already made, so you didn't spend a lot on ads, right? What'd you say? $100 you spent?
$100. Yeah.
Okay. And you started with a boosted post, and then you actually created. Have you always run boosted, or did you actually create an ad in Ads Manager the way that I teach in the course? What did you do there?
Yeah, I did an ad in Ads Manager as well, and it did not perform as well as the boosted post. But yes, we did create an ad inside of Ads Manager as well. And I think that's not because the ad didn't work well. I just think there's some things that I need to still learn. I have to go back to your training and learn about JSON and ref URL and all of that. I think I will do it again and make some of those adjustments that I didn't really know when I ran the ad the first time.
Okay. And finally, In terms of conversions, I know some people are kind of wondering, how are those people buying? Are you automating everything? Are they going to like a sales page with a video or a sales letter? Is it all on autopilot, or are you actually talking to some of these people? Help us understand a little bit about the conversion process with these leads.
Yeah, so everyone who schedules an appointment with me, I call them to make the appointment, and it's about 2 out of 10. The first couple of weeks, it was 1 out of 10 I was getting a hold of, and then 2 out of 10. And yesterday, I spoke with 4 people. And in that, I first find out what their pains are. What is it why did they even click on the ad? What is it that they're looking for? And then I explain how the 6-Day Eat Clean community can help them with those frustrations that they're having. And then I tell them that it's, what the registration fee is. It's not uncommon for people to register for challenges online. It's very, very common. And then I tell them that registration fee includes 6 days worth of breakfast for them. So everyone is on the same playing field first thing in the morning, every morning.
Okay, very good. And so you are actually, all of the leads that you have converted into a sale, you've actually, they've booked an appointment and you've spoken to them personally. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I do want to clarify a couple of things here, guys, that I think are really important for you guys to understand. Number one, somebody's asking, how do you add people into your Facebook group without having them first friend request you? You don't add them, you give them a link and they add themselves, right? So I can get someone into a Facebook group. I just give them the link right to my Facebook group, and we don't have to be friends for them to join. They just have to know what the link is to get there. So that's how she's getting them in there. She's not friending a whole bunch of people that she doesn't know personally in order to do this. Now, what I really want to clarify, because a lot of people, when they first start, they have this idea that I want to auto magic everything. I want to automate the lead generation, the sales process, every single step. And while that's possible to certainly do, it creates a lot of, in my experience, it creates a lot of barriers. It creates a lot of, all right, I got to set up 1,000 moving parts before I can ever take my first step or get my first lead. And so can you give us any advantages that, or, upsides that you have found? I mean, maybe eventually you're planning on automating more of the sales process, maybe doing webinars with people, doing larger groups where you're talking to 400 or 500 people at once, where you've got more leverage. But can you talk a little bit about some of the advantages to, speaking to people one-on-one, whether it's higher conversions or whether it's just understanding your audience better? What can you say about the reason you're doing it and any advantages to doing it over trying to automate everything right out of the gate?
Well, that's a great question. I did try to automate everything out of the gate initially before taking, the course. I wanted to text everyone. It's just like, and send them a link to go and purchase my product. And that was my process before, I took the course. The advantage of talking to the person, and eventually as we scale, that's not going to be physically possible to talk to everyone. The advantage is really getting to know that person a little bit about what it is that they want. With my particular business, and I think in a lot of businesses, your customer wants to know that you care about helping them solve their problem and not just want them to buy your product. You really are invested in them. So me taking that time now is very valuable. However, we've made some videos that in the future, it will be a video because there'll just be way too many people for me to talk to. Okay. Which is a high quality problem.
Hey, I totally agree. And down the road, as you develop more skills, I would imagine that you'll probably do like webinars like this where you can, because I can interact right now with 400 people at one time. I can see their questions. I can answer their objections or things that we're not clear on. I can find out why they're here, what businesses they're in, and tailor this directly to them. So perhaps that'll be something that you'll do down the road. But yeah, there's a definite advantage when you're first starting out. Don't be afraid. It's a whole lot easier, guys. A lot of people are scared of the phone because they're scared of the rejection. But when you're getting on the phone with somebody who's reached out to you, it's a whole lot different. It's a whole lot easier because these people, you guys have to understand, she's actually taken them through a like a filtering process before they actually they sign up for the appointment. So by the time they get on the appointment with her, she knows what their problems are, what their goals are, why they're getting on it. So really it's more of a formality to just get on and say, hey, in this questionnaire, you told me that you wanted this, you wanted that. And by the way, we don't have time because what she's built is pretty cool in terms of her questionnaire. I believe I recorded as a part. I don't think it's fair to give this to 400 people for free right now because it is Ray's kind of proprietary system, what she's built. But what I will do, we did something called the Health and Wellness Marketing Masterclass a while back where we dove really deep into Ray's funnel. And everybody who purchases Attract 100 Leads in 30 Days on this webinar today, I will give you that health and wellness. Now, it's not just for health and wellness, but I will give you that marketing masterclass so you can see her follow-up process, exactly the questionnaire that she's doing. We go over that, and we go over 2 other businesses in the health and wellness space, how they're doing that. But like I said, it doesn't have to just be for health and wellness. You can absolutely integrate this for travel or skincare or really anything where you just simply want to get people to take the next step. Now, I do want to ask one more question, then I'm going to teach just a few other things here, and then I'll answer some questions about the product. Somebody is saying, how does free, hold on, where was that? Somebody said something about how does free translate into like a paid registration or something. I guess what they're saying is what part of what you're offering is free, and then do they get mad that you're saying, hey, you got to buy this starter pack of my network marketing product or whatever?
Right. That's another great question. I never say it's free on the Eat Clean.
That is true.
I just tell them to join.
That is true.
But I do a free wellness evaluation with them. So I'm giving them some one-on-one time, which I could be charging them for that time to really evaluate their state of health.
Very good. Okay. So Deborah's saying, how does she eventually get people to order the product? I think we explained that. She gets on a call with them one-on-one. She gives them a wellness evaluation, and she says, based on what you've told me, I think this product is going to be the best fit for you. And then, she's able to tailor her product recommendation from her company's product line directly to those people. Exactly. Do they have to buy the product to participate in the challenge? I think we answered that already. Let me see if there's any others that I missed here. Do you have a second administrator on your Facebook pages for Messenger? I have known 2 people who've had massive groups built and Facebook locked them out for misguided info, and then they lost all of their information. I've not heard of that, but I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt to have extra administrators in there just in case one person gets locked out, the other person could let them back in.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Are you calling them on Messenger or some sort of conferencing site? I don't think it really matters, but this person's curious. Are you just calling them on the phone?
When they schedule with me, they give me their email address and their phone number. So I call them on the phone. And I also follow up with them before the appointment. Well, I don't physically, but it automated follows up with them before the appointment to remind them.
Okay, very good. So what you guys have to understand is a lot of what Ray has built before they get on the phone with her is automated, right? The filtering process. So she's never getting on the phone with somebody who isn't qualified. They've answered a questionnaire. They've said what their problems are. They've indicated that they really have a desire to solve these problems. They want to get on a one-on-one consultation call with her, a wellness evaluation, she calls it. So by the time she gets on the phone, it's an enjoyable experience for both parties. It shouldn't be something nervous for her because these people are not cold prospects anymore. They have said this, I'm interested, right? So she's only talking, she's not wasting her time with deadbeats who are like, oh, let me just kind of get on the phone and see what you've got to offer. She's created a filtering process. And I don't have time, and I don't think it's, like I said, fair to Ray to show everybody that on this webinar because that's her proprietary information. But everybody who pays for the course as a bonus, I will give you that as a bonus inside of Attract 100 Leads in 30 days. Yes, Kyle, if you have already purchased my course, go to the bonuses section. You should already have it. It should be unlocked inside of the bonuses section. So let me do this. I just want to share with you, everybody on here, a few more secrets. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Hold on just a second here. Let's see if we can do this the right way. And what I want to do is I want to show you guys, really, I want to talk you through 3 secrets of running successful ads and posts on Facebook, or really on any marketing platform, okay? We've already kind of talked about the first one, things that Ray is doing really, really well. Number 1, the ad should not try to sell the thing itself. Again, I said this is in most instances. It's not in every instance, but in most instances, yes, Alyssa, you already have the health and wellness bonus. Click on the bonuses section inside your course. You already have it. So the ad should not sell your thing. It should sell the first small step. This is something Ray did really well. Again, look at her ad and you'll notice that she doesn't say, come buy my thing, come give me money. She says, hey, do you want to take a 6-day clean eating challenge? That's the first step toward eventually buying her product. So what first small step can you get someone to take for your thing, right? So for example, maybe it's just downloading a free PDF. Maybe it is a consultation with you. Maybe it is a free sample, a free trial offer. There's a lot of different kind of first small steps that you can give, but you have to think, how can I get somebody to take the first small step as opposed to trying to sell them the product? And so Bubba says that's pretty well known. It's interesting, Bubba, because I agree, it should be common sense. But unfortunately, common sense isn't all that common, which is why we see ads like this all over Facebook. Hey, come buy my thing. Hey, come give me money. Hey, I'm in a ground floor opportunity, right? So if it was, yes, I agree, it's common sense and it's well known, but just because it's well known doesn't mean people are actually doing it correctly. Second secret of online ads is to make your ad valuable in and of itself. Now, Ray isn't doing this quite as much in her ad as I often do in my ads, but in my ads, I'll have like a Facebook Live where I teach a small little tip for 5 minutes. So one thing that Ray might do, in fact, one of the things I do in my business is kind of a 2-pronged approach. I will have a video that gives a lot of value for maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I'll give a free tip, right? So if you were in skincare or beauty or makeup, right? Maybe you would do a beauty tutorial where you just showed them a really cool makeup strategy, how to apply makeup, or a skincare regimen, a thing like, here's a simple 5-step process to reduce your wrinkle lines. It takes 5 minutes at bedtime, right? And you show them right on Facebook a simple thing that they could do in skincare. Or I'm trying to give you lots of examples for everybody here going, well, she's in health and wellness. This only works for her, right? If you're in financial services, maybe you do a thing where you're like, hey, have you ever wondered the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA? Which one's the best option for you, or neither, right? And maybe you talk for 5 to 6 minutes, just giving some free value. So I often make my ads valuable in and of themselves. And if you look at my Facebook Live videos, these little 5, 6, 7 minute videos that I do from the gym, that's the purpose. It's to provide value. And even the people who don't take the next step right away, I am able inside of Facebook to say, hey, Facebook, take everybody that watched at least 50% of that video, who watched at least 4 minutes of it, and let's now put a direct offer like what Ray has right in front of them and say, hey, who wants to take the next step? Who wants to attend a free webinar? Who wants to take the 100 Leads Challenge? Who wants to join a Facebook group, right? So anytime you can add value to your advertising. Now, I don't have time to go over all 5 of these questions, but here's 5 questions you can ask yourself to try and figure out, how do I make my ads valuable? How can I provide value right on my Facebook page so that people want to follow me, so that they want to become followers of me? If your prospects ever ask a question before they make a buying decision, like I said, with the financial services, if they say, what's the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA? If you're in financial services, you could answer that question. If you were in travel, maybe, right before I get ready to go on a new vacation, I'm usually asking myself, like, what are some great travel vacation destinations for families with young children, right? So if somebody had some value, like, hey, or, family going on a family vacation this summer, here's 5 really cool places that my family loves and my kids won't stop talking about. Well, if I was in the market to go on a vacation, I would absolutely consume that content. That would attract me to them, right? And you could run a paid ad and you could say, I'm only going to show this to, you know, parents of children between, parents who are between the ages of blank and blank, who have kids, who are married, who live in this part of the world. You can do all of that targeting on Facebook, and we show you the specifics of how to do that and how to do it on a budget right inside of the course. The second question I ask myself is, do my prospects ever struggle with a problem or a frustration that my thing could solve? Ray did that with her ad. She said, all right, are they struggling with weight loss? Where I could give them some help on how to lose weight, how to get more energy. If your skincare product could help people get rid of their acne, you might, say, hey, here's 3 simple things that you can do to reduce your acne within 7 days or less, right? That would be valuable, and that would attract the kind of person who would want your skincare product without having to talk about your skincare product directly. Third, do you have any stories of people who've experienced something awful because they did not have your thing? Right? And I've seen this a lot, like with people in legal services, where if somebody didn't have the right coverage and they were sued, maybe you could tell the story of somebody, if only they had had this kind of legal coverage, or if only they had had this type of insurance, they would have been much better off. Fourth example is, do you have any stories or testimonials of people who've used your product and gotten great results, right? So you could tell, just like I'm doing with Ray right here, the way I got you on this webinar was I said, listen, I have a student who got 397 leads in 30 days with almost zero tech setup, and we're going to tell you how she did it. We're going to show you her ads. We're going to give you examples for how you can implement this in your business. So we're doing a story, a case study to get you to take the first step to attend this webinar and say, yeah, I'm interested. I'll raise my hand and see what this guy's all about. And finally, number 5, if your prospects don't necessarily struggle with problems, but maybe you're in a passion market, right? Passion markets are things like, golf, cooking, travel, wine, maybe jewelry, fashion. I get people like, well, I'm in jewelry. How would this work for me? Okay. Have you ever seen a fashion YouTube channel where they're like, hey, have you ever wondered what the best necklace is to wear with a black dress? Right? Well, that's the kind of stuff. Or here's how to accessorize, what's the best type of necklace that goes well with almost any type of outfit? Or, the 3 pieces of jewelry every woman should own that goes well with almost any ensemble, right? Those kinds of tips are things that people who are interested in fashion or home decor or golf or cooking, giving people tips on how they could increase their enjoyment out of a thing that they are already passionate about is how you can provide value and attract them to you right in the ad. And then you just give them, hey, here's the next step if you want to go a little bit further. And then finally, the third secret is, and we've kind of shown you this with Ray's ad, make the next step, your call to action. CTA, if you don't know, stands for call to action. Make your call to action a simple, clear, sexy, low resistance, logical next step. Here's what you should, that's a lot of words, okay? Here's what you should get out of this. Don't ask them to do too much too soon, right? The very next thing you ask them to do, it should be congruent with the thing they just saw, right? If they saw me on Facebook talking to them, like if they saw this ad from Ray and she said, hey, if you want to do a 6-day clean eating challenge, you want to lose weight, and her thing said, click the button below to join my business opportunity and get these products. That would be not congruent, right? That's not a logical next step, right? Do you want to lose weight and now come join my business opportunity? That's not logical. That's not the next step. Likewise, if she said, hey, who wants to lose weight? Hey, come buy $500 worth of my product. That would be high resistance. We want low resistance, logical, simple next step, and we want it to be incredibly sexy. How did Ray make this a sexy next step? She said, well, first of all, it's only 6 days. And what did she really do that made it sexy? She tied it back to the results her prospect wants, not to her product. She said, if you want to get out of a rut, if you want to lose weight, if you want to gain energy, if you want to jumpstart a new healthy lifestyle, that's what made this offer sexy, and she made it very clear. She didn't assume that her prospects would know what to do. She said, here's exactly what you need to do if you want to take the next step. Message me for more details or comment I'm in below. And so essentially what we're doing here, my business now and what Ray is doing really kind of looks like this. You can, in fact, let me show this kind of bigger on the screen. You can do all of this really literally with nothing more than a Facebook account. You do not have to have a website. You do not have to have a capture page, because Ray is running ads and posts from her Facebook page, and she's bringing people directly into Messenger. They never have to leave the Facebook platform. She could put her content right on Facebook. She could put a post right on Facebook. She could advertise her free first step right on Facebook. And then she says, hey, click a button and you'll be taken into Messenger. They don't have to go to a website. She doesn't have to get expensive software like ClickFunnels. I show you how to do all of this inside of the 100 Leads in 30 Days course, all of the tactical setup stuff, which is really simple. And you can even automate all of this so it happens while you're sleeping. So while Ray is sleeping, she has people clicking a button on her ad, and automatically her page responds and says, it's what's called messenger bots. You've probably heard of them. And as soon as they click, something says, hey, thanks for reaching out. Tell me why you reached out. Are you looking for more energy, more, to lose weight, whatever? She gives them some choices. They start clicking, and based on what they click on, she is now leading them into the questionnaire or the wellness evaluation that would that gives her the information she needs to eventually convert them into sales. And she could call them right inside a Messenger. Did you know that you can call people? You can even do a video chat right inside a Messenger. You could do a Facebook Live. If you don't want to use fancy software for a webinar like what I'm doing, you could literally do a webinar right on Facebook Live and turn those people into money. You literally can build your entire business just on Facebook with nothing more than a free Facebook account and maybe a cell phone in order to, create your post and your ads and so forth. And of course, you don't have to just get your traffic from Facebook. You could, I send traffic from YouTube right into my Messenger. I send traffic from, I could run an ad on Twitter if I wanted to, or on TV and send them right into my Facebook Messenger. The point is, I have almost completely eliminated the need for me to have pages like this, okay? You guys have probably all seen pages like this where, you have to build a fancy looking page and they click, and now they actually, hold on, let me show you a different version of that page, because now I have that page going into Messenger. Let me see if this page. So like where they have to put in their name and their email address, and then you have to connect this with an autoresponder, and you have to, a million moving parts. Yeah, you can still have that stuff if you want to, but it is simply not necessary anymore in order for you to get great results with your business. So let me stop here for just a minute and ask if we have any questions. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes to kind of go over very briefly what some of the items you're going to get. So if you have not grabbed the 100 Leads in 30 Days course, that I have a link, a button on the screen for you if you're interested in grabbing that. I'm going to bring Ray back on right now, and we're just going to answer a few questions. And I do have some fast start bonuses, some fast action bonuses for people who purchase on this webinar before we log off. If you grab the product before we log off, you are going to get some amazing bonuses. And by the way, right inside of the course, you might be wondering, can you automate the process of someone commenting on your post? And the answer is yes. Ray has it to where if somebody says, I'm in, all they have to do is say, I'm in, and we use a simple $10 a month tool. It's called ManyChat, M-A-N-Y chat. It's $10 a month to get started with. It's really simple, easy to use. My course shows you step-by-step how to set it up. And literally, somebody can type, I'm in, and ManyChat monitors that post and just spits off a message. It says, hey, thanks for commenting on my post. If you want to take part in the 6-day clean eating challenge, do this. Click a button. They're now in your Messenger, and you can set a whole follow-up sequence that happens, or you can reach out. If you don't like bots and you want to do everything manually, you could just have your bot start the conversation, and then you can contact them personally. Okay. So, does anybody have any final questions here for Ray? And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's included in the course. We'll go through that. I'll give you a quick 10-minute pitch on what you're going to get when you get into my course today, because what kind of marketer would I be if I didn't make you an offer? And then we will answer a few more questions of Ray at the end of this. So some folks are asking, first of all, Ray, do you have the name of your product listed in your group page title?
No, we don't. In fact, oftentimes people don't even know the name of the product until it arrives at their door.
Yeah. Guys, my advice to almost every person who is a network marketer or an affiliate marketer has almost always been this. If people can find out what company you're in or what product you're promoting without reaching out to you directly, without you being the gateway, you're doing it wrong. If they can come to your page and find out what company you're in, you're doing it wrong. Why do they need you? Does that make sense? Why would they need to reach out to you if they go to your page and they say, oh, well, this is the company she's in. My cousin Sue, I've heard of that. She's promoting that. I'll go to her and buy. Or let me go to Google and do a review. And what do they find? They find some guy in North Dakota who says, yeah, I tried the products and they're a scam. I didn't make any money, whatever. They took all my money. And you're like, oh, I knew it, right? So if people can find out what your product is without you being the gateway, right, then you're doing it wrong, especially if you are a network marketer or you are an affiliate marketer or a distributor of someone else's product where they could buy from thousands of other reps other than you. You have to make it to where you're the gateway. And that's what Ray has done exceedingly well here. Rhonda says, will you run the 6-day challenge over and over again to get new people?
I do. I run it every couple of weeks to get new people. And every single time that we run the ad, we get brand new people. In fact, as we're on this, webinar right now, we have about 4 people going through our bot right now answering questions. So, yes.
Yeah. And by the way, that's something else I want you guys to understand. If somebody goes through a bot, you can see live, real time, what's happening, and you can jump in at any time. Because a lot of people think, oh, once the bot takes over, it's all robots and I don't have any human control. That's not true at all. At any time, if somebody has a question and I'm monitoring what's happened and like they get confused or the bot doesn't answer a question quite right, I can jump in or my support staff can jump right in and manually communicate straight through Facebook Messenger, the same way that you normally would without a bot. So you have kind of the best of both worlds. Somebody else is asking, what do you do when they ask what the product is? So do you have many people that are asking what the product is prior to getting on the phone with you?
I have not had anyone ask what the product is. I talked about their results and me helping them get that result. So the product is really inconsequential.
Yeah, guys, when you focus on helping someone get a result and you talk about the results they're going to achieve as opposed to the product that you're promoting or making it anything about the product, most of the time you're not going to get that question. You simply are not. So Lucia says, what if you have your own product? Well, that even better. You have all the more control. And yeah, I mean, Lucia, you could talk all about your own product if you want to, but still I want, I think Brian, Ray's husband, posted one of my quotes that is actually inside of the course earlier. He said, a conversion can't take place until a conversation is started. So the goal of my marketing is not to sell a product, it's to get a conversation started. It's how can I get this person, like right now on this webinar, there's a conversation happening. You're asking questions, I'm answering back. You're here saying, I want to understand how this works. That's a conversation that's happening, even though we're not necessarily one-on-one talking, there's still a conversation going on. If all I did in my email to get you here was say, hey, I've got this great product, you should totally buy it, here's the link, almost no one would buy, right? But the fact that you were here and I can answer your questions, we can have a conversation, I can connect, this is how this is going to work for your business, it's going to increase the number of people who actually buy the product. And by the way, the people who, I want you to get this as well. How many of you, give me a Y in the comment box if this webinar has been valuable to you, if you've gotten some aha moments, if you've appreciated Ray's time, you've noticed some things, maybe you've seen some things that you might be changing, you've gotten some ideas for things you could implement, you've had a few aha moments. Just give me a yes if you've gotten value out of this webinar that you've attended. We've been on just a little bit over an hour now. If you would say, yeah, this 60 minutes that we've been on here has been worth my time so far. And I have found value in Ray's examples and the teaching, the 5 questions that Tyson showed. Just give me some yeses. Yeah, I'm seeing all kinds of yeses. Yes, I bought the course. Yes, tons of notes. I love it. Why? They're coming in like crazy. So here's the lesson there, guys. What I want you to understand is this. When I can lead with value, even for the person who doesn't buy on this webinar. Is everybody on this webinar going to buy right now? Of course not. I don't have unrealistic expectations. I understand, first of all, I know there are some people who are never going to buy. They're never willing to invest in themselves, and that's okay. I know that there are some people who are here who are like, I'd love to, now's not the right time. Whatever, that's fine if now's not the right time. But listen, I'm going to tell you this. If I provide a webinar with value, if I give you a valuable experience, I have just increased the likelihood that you are now going to remember me and stay in contact with my brand in the future, so that you go, wow, I got so much value from that webinar that I'm going to keep consuming Tyson's content. And maybe when the time is right that you do fall in the category of saying, I'm ready to buy now, who are you going to buy from? The guy who provided value, who you remember. And when you can do this in your business, build an audience of people that you provide value to, so that you can sell to them when they're ready to buy, as opposed to having such a short-sighted, I need to sell to these people today. Think about, how can I build a list? How can I build an audience of people who are getting value from me and what I have to offer them? And I can keep building the relationship. Those are the people who are going to win. And that's probably my number one secret to how I've won. And it's Ray's secret to why she's gotten such great results with this particular strategy that she's implemented inside of the course. Somebody's asking, I've been a fitness coach with a leading network marketing company in MLM. I want to build a supplement MLM. Where do I start? Well, I think, David, we've kind of shown you where to start. I mean, if you're in health and wellness MLM, Ray is actually positioning herself kind of as a fitness and a health coach. She's saying, what would be the first small step, a simple 3 to 5 to 7 day thing that somebody could do, low commitment, low resistance, just to get them in the door, to get them reaching out to you to say, all right, I want to know more about how David can help me. That's how you get started. And we've shown you examples of exactly how to do that. Now, I'm going to tell you everything that comes in the product here in a minute. I want to address one thing very quickly here. I'm seeing some people that are saying, I just don't have the money. I don't have the time, right? Or whatever. I want to address this very quickly. I understand, and I don't want to diminish anyone's financial position or situation, but I want you to understand that I have been in situations before where I could say one of two things. I could say, I don't have the money, I can't afford it. Or I could say, how can I afford it? How can I come up with the money? And I'll tell a real world example of when I did this, okay? I purchased literally a $3,000 camera to start my photography, because in addition to this marketing thing, and I've gotten great results in network marketing, I've built a lot of businesses. One of my first successful businesses was a brick and mortar photography studio. And I started that business when I was a public school teacher making $30,000 a year barely. I purchased a camera that cost $3,000 off of eBay. I had to buy it used. And I wasn't even making $3,000 a month, okay? My wife watched me click the button that said, buy this thing on eBay. She looked over my shoulder and said, what the hell did you just do? Did you just buy a $3,000 camera? That's more than your paycheck. After taxes are taken out, you don't make $3,000 a month. You spent an entire month's worth of your salary on a camera. What the hell is wrong with you, right? She was very upset with me. And I'm telling you, that camera within a year had made back at least 10 times, right? We had made $30,000, $40,000 in so it wasn't an expense, it was an investment. And within 3 years, 2 to 3 years, I had quit my public school teaching job and I was making over $300,000 a year in my photography studio. Was that camera an expense or was it an investment? What if I kept saying, I can't afford it, as opposed to saying, how can I afford it? Because I told my wife, I said, honey, I know that on paper, it doesn't look like we should purchase this. And you know what? If all this camera was going to be a hobby, if I was just going to go out in the backyard and take pretty pictures of animals and scenery, then yes, it would have been an incredibly irresponsible decision for me to buy that camera. But I knew that I wasn't going to just sit on my ass and do nothing with that camera. I was going to use it. I was actually going to do something and I was going to change my life. So I'm here to tell you, if you're not going to use this product, if you're not going to take action like Ray has done, then don't buy the product and keep telling yourself, I can't afford it. Keep telling yourself it won't work for me. Keep making excuses, or just don't buy it because it won't work for you. I literally, I should not have been able to afford that camera, but you know what we did? We found the money. First of all, I'm not telling you, it's not my suggestion that you go into debt, that you put this on a credit card. I'm just telling you my story. That's what I did. I put that camera on a credit card and we started cutting back on things to say, how can we pay that investment back? So I started saying to myself, all right, how can I maybe sell some things on eBay that are currently not making me money, like a TV or a bike? How can I lower my cell phone plan to where I can get, because my cell phone was not making me money. My cable plan wasn't making me money. So you know what? We said, how can I find the money? And this is one of the big differences between amateurs and top earners. And I tell that story over and over and over again because it's incredibly powerful. And like I said, I'm not trying to diminish your situation, okay? Listen, if it's a matter of the difference between you eating this month and you buying my course, don't buy the course, okay? It's not a good decision for you. But if you're just saying, here's what I believe, okay? I'm just going to leave you with one more thing, and then I'll show you kind of what you're going to get inside the course. I have seen people who've said, I can't afford this, and yet they're the exact same people who spent they have $30,000 in student loan debts because they spent that money to go to college. Okay, well, when you went to college, I'm guessing you didn't have the money to go to college, but you justified the decision to get a loan and to say, I'm going to find a way anyway. Why? Because you believed if I get a college education, this eventually will pay me back, then some. So here's what I hear. When somebody tells me I can't afford it, what I'm really hearing is one of two things. A, I don't believe this will work for me, okay? Or I don't have enough faith that I will actually do the work in order to make this happen. It's one of those two things. So if you don't believe that this will work for you, then I haven't done my job. Ray and I have not given you the right examples, and that's our fault. That's my fault, rather, for not giving the right information, for showing you how this will work for you. And I'll try to give you some more examples for how this will work for your business in a minute. So you either don't have the belief, because I bet you've purchased things in the past that you probably shouldn't have purchased. I know middle-class people who own boats, who have the boats on credit. They're paying monthly. They don't own it outright. For some reason, they found a way to buy the boat. Even though they shouldn't have bought the boat, they own the boat anyway. Does that make sense? Why? Because they had enough desire to make it happen. So what I'm hearing when somebody says I can't afford it, what they're really telling me is I just don't have enough desire to do this, which means you don't believe that this will work for you, or you're not willing to actually do the work. And it's easier to say I can't afford it than it is. Now, again, if it's a matter of my kids won't have clothes and I won't have put food on the table this month, then no, don't buy the course. No matter what, this is not for you. But please don't use that as an excuse if you've purchased other things in the past. Find the real reason why you're saying no. And because I want to help you guys. If you're getting people who want to buy from you and they say, I can't afford it, I want you to understand why they're saying no so that you can do a better job of turning those people into sales, right? So if I can help some people on here understand why you're saying I can't afford it, you'll have a better understanding of why your prospects are also telling you I can't afford it. So this is not just me trying to overcome that objection. I really do want to try and teach you and give you a perspective that'll help you to get inside of the minds of your customers better so you can sell more products, okay? So let me just do this. I'm going to very briefly show you what comes inside of this course. So I'm going to take my face off the screen. I'm going to show my my screen one more time, and very quickly here, I'm just going to show you some of the items that that you're going to get when you get into Attract 100 Leads in 30 days. I've got a big old pitch that I did last month. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but essentially, guys, within the next 30 days, if you want to get all of this done, if you want to get Now, guys, I'm not promising you're going to get the same results that Ray has gotten, right? I'm not going to say, Ray's putting in work, right? If you're not willing to put in the work, then don't buy the product. If you make excuses, if you're the kind of person who quickly changes your mind and gets overwhelmed and says, oh, I'm too overwhelmed. You know why you get overwhelmed? It's because you don't take action, right? You know what Ray did? She went through one video of the course and then she implemented it. She said, I don't have to understand everything. I just need to understand this lesson and I'm going to go take action on it. You know what the people who say, I don't understand, I'm overwhelmed, they try to understand everything and then they don't do anything and then they complain of overwhelm. If you're the kind of person who's not going to take action along the way, don't buy the product. If you're going to whine and complain, I don't want those kinds of people to buy the product. But if you want to get results in the next 30 days, you have two paths. You can either figure everything out on your own. You could take what Ray and I have shown you and you could try and figure out the rest on your own. We've only had an hour to show you kind of what works, or you can get my help and I can show you exactly how to do it the right way. This is the shortcut, okay? And since you've sat through this presentation, I know this is what you'd probably prefer to do. You'd probably prefer to skip, the cash loss and skip the guessing game and skip all the frustration and the wasted time. And the way that you could do that is with the exact same product and system that Ray used to get amazing results. It's called Attract 100 Leads in 30 Days. As I said, this is not for people who are looking for a push button system, but it is for people who are absolutely serious about getting great results in their business in the next 30 days. If you want people reaching out to you so you can stop chasing friends and family, you can stop talking to, everybody with a pulse and only start talking to the people who are genuinely interested in what you have to offer, then this product is absolutely for you. So what we've got is 6 modules total. If you add up the value of everything in the modules, it's an incredible value at what you're getting. The game plan shows you kind of the overall view of what you need to do and set up. It's very low tech, very simple. The only tool you really should buy is ManyChat, and it's $10 a month. Literally, you don't need to buy anything more than that. So you don't have to buy any expensive tools or software. The second module shows you how to find and attract your perfect customer. We'll go into everything. Ray said earlier, one of the biggest mistakes I was making was thinking that everybody was my customer. And once she said, okay, we're just going to target women in this age group. And I'm going to show you not only how to figure out who you should be targeting, but also exactly where to find them and how to spy on them in this module so that you know exactly how to attract them to you. In module 3, we're going to show you step-by-step how to set up your system. It is one of the simplest, most non-technical things that you can set up. And you'll notice that Ray hasn't even set up every single part. Like I show you, how to set up one type of tool and another type of tool. She's gotten her results with just one of the 3 main types of tools I show how to set up inside of the system. So she still has more that she could go back and grow and implement more to get even more leads later on. That's a $497 value. Module 4 is free traffic strategies. So if you want to build your business with free traffic instead of paid ads, it will take you longer. It will be slower, but you can definitely do that. And I show you 6 of the best sources to get free traffic. But if you want to get traffic quickly, if you want to build your business quickly like Ray has, she has literally spent, she said, what, $100, less than $100, and she got through 400 leads basically, right? What is that, 40 cents a lead? That's the fast way. Now, again, I don't know what market you're in. I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to get the exact same numbers that Ray has gotten. I'm in a more competitive market. I spend about $4 to $5 per lead. So I'm not saying that, please don't think that what I'm saying is you're going to get the exact results or that you're going to spend 100 and get 400 leads at the exact same cost. Every business and market is different. That's not, what I'm telling you, but I am telling you, you can get started for $10 a day and start getting great results. And I show you guys, I have spent probably $500,000 out of my own pocket on running Facebook ads. So I know what works and I have made a lot of mistakes. One of the biggest, the reason why this module is worth $2,000, that's why I have a value of $2,000, is because I have wasted well over $2,000 on Facebook ads, figuring out what the hell doesn't work so that I can show you just go do this. And this is what does work. I can almost promise you, if you try and figure out Facebook ads on your own, you're probably going to get an ad account shut down. Your ads are going to get disapproved, and you're probably going to waste a ton of money. In fact, Ray, if you can turn on your microphone for just a second, maybe even turn on your webcam. I know that you have a story. You don't have to tell the whole story, but didn't you at one point have an advertising account shut down, or a what happened where, because I know that you had some problems with an advertising account, and then you I don't know if my course helped you get it back or finally figure things out. Tell me that story real quick.
Yeah, that was pretty frightening but everything in the long run worked out well, because we had been advertising on our account for 18 months with some success, not doing what we're doing now, but was still a little bit frustrated. And then one day, lo and behold, Facebook decided to shut down our ad and our ability to advertise. Our ad account was just gone. And I remember on a live that we did with Tyson, I was like, what do I do? I can't advertise. And he gave some great suggestions that we implemented and got another account going. And we've been advertising with that business account ever since.
Yeah. And so it was honestly the one little thing that Ray did. It was so simple and so easy to avoid, but it's one of those kind of traps that if you don't know what you're doing, Facebook's algorithm will trigger an account shutdown. And if she had just not, if she had just known, not to do that, it could have avoided a lot of pain and frustration. And so not only did we show her the right way to advertise to get better results, how to avoid getting her account shut down, how to have less frustration with Facebook ads, we even showed her, how to get her account back up and running, even though she had one account shut down. So finally, in Module 6, we're going to show you the right way to follow up, to get people to go from just becoming conversations to actually taking the next step, to wanting to know more about your product. If you add up the value of everything, it's over $4,000. And the reason I value it that, guys, I get a lot of people to say, oh, that's just a hyped up value. Guys, I literally make more money than most doctors and lawyers with this skill set. And most doctors and lawyers spend, $100,000 or more and 10 years of schooling. And I make more money than them. So I have no problem saying, because guys, I have made over $1 million online with this exact same skill set that I'm offering you. So I would absolutely say it's worth $4,000. And you guys can acquire a 6-figure skill set in less than 30 days to potentially make more than a doctor or a lawyer for a fraction of the cost of a college degree. Right. So I'm not going to go through all of that, but here's some more results. Other people who've gotten great results with my training. Artist became a top recruiter in his company. Mitch was working a 60-hour corporate job. Gigi was an affiliate marketer, got her first commission. David's a real estate agent. He got 2 leads that led to $13,000 in commissions from just one video he created following my training. And I want you guys to be next. I want you to be my next success story. So the standard price on this course, excuse me, is $997, but we have decided to reopen the course. Actually, I shut down the cart completely. It went to an expiration page, and we have reopened it for up until Friday. This shuts down the cart, guys. I'm telling you, if you go to this, if you click on the link to go to this page after Friday, the cart will be closed. You will see an expiration notice. So if you want to get in on this, I have reopened it. For the people who are on this webinar right now, you can get it for 3 payments of $199, or if you want to save $100, you can get it for 1 payment of $497. So there's a payment plan option for the people who, it's not like a monthly forever and ever. It's just 3 payments. Right away you pay $199 so you can get in, and then in 30 days you pay another $199, and then another 30 days. So in 60 days, the whole product is paid off. You have lifetime access. It's a one-time purchase. You're not paying forever and ever. Or like I said, if you want to save $100, we put a $100 finance charge on it if you finance it. Or you could just make 1 payment today for $497 and be done. And that saves that $100 finance charge. So you're not paying an extra $100 over the course of 60 days. So you can either go to the link that you see in the webinar room, or you can type in this link on the page, successwithtyson.com/special. to go directly there. We do have a get results or get your money back guarantee plus an extra $100. So here's the deal. If you are not, now this is an action-based guarantee, so listen carefully. If you take action on what I teach you and you are not thrilled with your results, not only will I give you every penny back that you've paid, I will also reimburse you up to $100 of your advertising spend if you spend money on Facebook ads and it didn't work for you. That's how confident I am that you will get results with this program if you just implement this, okay? So take action. You just have to send us an email, send us some screenshots showing that you've actually implemented the program, and we will happily give you every penny back, plus up to $100 out of my own pocket to reimburse you for advertising expense if you do that. So literally the only way for you to lose on this is to not invest. Guys, the only thing you're going to lose is a little bit of your time by implementing. So people say, well, what am I risking? You're risking a little bit of your time to actually put in the work to do this. Because if you put in the work and you don't get results, I will give you every penny back, right? So you're not risking any money unless you just don't do the work. If you're lazy, you make excuses, you change your mind in 3 days, then yeah, it's risky and I don't want you to buy from me anyway. But if you're serious and you actually want to get results in your business, then the only thing you are literally risking is a little bit of your time to just do exactly what I show you step by step how to do in the program. And Ray is proof that it works. And we've got several other students who've gotten great results. It's just that this particular case study today was about Ray. And you might be thinking, well, gosh, is it even possible to do this in 30 days? Well, Ray did it in 30 days, obviously. Brenda, another one of my students, she said she got within 2 hours of posting her first ad, she had 5 to 6 new leads every single day reaching out to her about her product. David got 2 leads that totaled $13,000 in commissions. And when I show you how to target the right people, how to create the right kind of content, the right kind of ads, step by step, line by line, what to say, when I show you how to set up all of the very simple low-tech automation, can you do this? Yes, you absolutely can. And you might be asking, Tyson, what if I get stuck? Am I going to have any support over the next 30 days? Yes, I'm going to give you as a bonus, I'm going to give you 30 free days inside of my Inner Circle Coaching Mastermind. Now, this is a program that Ray pays for every single month to be a member, to get my help, to get my coaching, to get on the live calls with me. Like when her ad account got shut down, she said, what happened? I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm frustrated. She submitted her ad. I took one look at it. We got on a live group coaching call with all of our members. And I said, hey, Ray, here's what you did wrong. Here's the one little thing that shut down your ad. Here's how you get it back. She was right back up and running. That's the kind of help and coaching and support that you're going to have access to inside of my Inner Circle. You get 30 days free. If you want to remain a member, you can pay for it. It's a monthly membership. Or if you want to cancel on day 28 or 29 and just get, your first 29 days or whatever free before that, that's totally fine too. So you can get started right now. 3 payments of $199. So you'd pay your first payment today. It is a digital product, by the way, and this is US dollars. Some people are wondering, we are a US based company. So if you're in a different company, your bank will figure out that conversion rate for you. Is it possible to buy now? No, unfortunately, we're not going to start a 30-day refund policy in a couple of days or whatever. It's like your 30-day timer starts now when you buy the product. Okay. So you do have lifetime access, and it's a digital product. So you will literally have access within the next 10 minutes. So as soon as you purchase, you're going to get, oh, by the way, well, hold on. I'll get back to that in a minute. You are going to have an email sent to you with your username and your password within about 10 minutes. So you'll be able to log in and you can start going through the first couple of modules. And this is a short course. There's only about 6 to 7 hours of video content in the actual course itself. And so what you guys are going to be able to get is a course that you can get through literally in a matter of 3 to 4 evenings. And I think I might have misunderstood Lucy's question. I'm sorry about that, Lucy. I thought you were asking about the 30-day refund guarantee. She's asking, can we join the group? Yeah, you can wait to join the group a little bit later, the Inner Circle Coaching Group. You can wait and you could join it at the 1st of July. However, there are some advantages to joining it immediately. And I'm not going to explain that now, but there's a page where you actually have to activate your membership. So after you purchase the program, don't shut down your browser, okay? Don't shut down your browser. Make sure that you leave the browser open and then go over to click to the next page, and you'll get to a page that has a page where you can activate your membership by filling out an order form. And it doesn't charge you anything today, but because it's a membership program that does charge you after 30 days for free, you do have to fill out an order form legally. I won't go into the details, but basically there's a law called ROSCA that says I can't just sign you up for this program manually and then start charging you. You have to fill out an order form that says, I understand I'm taking 30 days free. If I don't cancel, I'll be charged after those 30 days. So you have to sign up for that. You can wait and sign up for those 30 days later if you want, Lucy. But it is my recommendation, and you'll understand on that page why it's advantageous to sign up and activate that now instead of later. Okay, so the timer, the cart is closing when the timer on that page hits 0. Actually, it's closing on Friday. So you have until Friday to order. I've just reopened it very, very briefly. So if you want to grab it, now is the time. And I'm going to give you some bonuses. You're going to get my target audience fast start, which is going to help you get really clear on who you should be targeting. You're going to get my Facebook fast start. So this is, guys, on top of the main course. You're going to get several bonuses. The Facebook Fast Start will help you to get your Facebook business page set up if it's not already. For those of you that want to run YouTube ads, you don't have to, but if you want to build an audience on YouTube as well as Facebook, you're going to get my YouTube Fast Start. Endless content ideas. This is going to be incredibly valuable to show. I mean, you're never going to run out of ideas to talk about to your audience when you go through this bonus. You don't have to have a website, but for those of you that want one, I have a lot of people that say, Tyson, it's cool that I can build everything in Messenger, but what if I want, to build my own brand with my own website like you do? That's cool. I'll give you that 7-minute website setup as well. So you see exactly how I set up all of my websites in 7 minutes or less. So if you want to have a bit more personal branding, you certainly can. For those of you that want a capture page, you're going to have that as well. Again, you don't have to have a capture page. You don't have to have an email autoresponder. None of that is necessary. You don't have to have ClickFunnels. But for those of you that want to take that next step, it's there for you if you want it, or down the road when you decide you want to add it, if ever. It's not necessary, but you certainly have it as a bonus if you want. And then, of course, you're going to get the free coaching. And then finally, so that's worth $5,200. Same price I told you about earlier. Make sure you click the button. It expires on Friday. You're going to have access within the next 10 minutes. We'll send you your email. You can log in. And finally, if you purchase before Ray and I log off, we're probably only going to be on about another 15 minutes because we're going to answer a few of your questions, either about Ray will answer some of your questions about her process. I'll answer some questions about the program, and we'll stick around 15, 20 minutes to answer your questions here. So we're about done. But if you purchase before this webinar ends, you are also going to get my best performing ads. This is a swipe file of all of my best ads. So you can look through every single thing. Oh, by the way, I didn't even show you the health and wellness, the marketing masterclass, where you'll get to see behind the scenes of Ray's follow-up process of what she's doing. Because we did a live call with Ray. You'll see all of that behind the scenes as another bonus of what you're getting. I didn't even list that on the webinar. But in terms of fast action bonuses, I'm going to give you a complete swipe file of all of my best performing ads so that you can model them. You could click through and see how the funnel works. You're going to get my little black book of all of my best tools that I use every day in my business. So if you want to use, well, what microphone does he use? Or, how does he create this 3D graphic? Or what does he use for webinars? Whatever. I mean, it's every tool that I use in my business. And then this is the really valuable one. I'm going to give you my my chatbot automation course, messenger automation. So if you really want to create a ton of really cool automation, the way that Ray is really getting people to take action. She's really getting people to qualify themselves without her having to be there. And you want to set up some cool automation with your chat bots. This course is for you. And it's really cool, shows you some amazing stuff, but it's only for the people who purchase on this webinar before we say goodbye here in the next 10, 15 minutes. So you only have about 10 more minutes to say yes, to check out. I do have a support staff on this webinar. So if you're having any trouble getting ordered, ask on this webinar. I think she's monitoring questions and she can help you out if you're having any trouble. And so the total value is $5,600, but you're getting it for just 3 payments of $199 or make 1 payment of $497. And guys, let me just say this. Here's what here's how you can sell more stuff. Okay. If you want me to really help you convert more people into sales, help people to see that they're going to get more value from purchasing than what they've actually spent. Okay. So in other words, if you're selling a health and wellness product, now I'm going to bring my face back on the screen here for this, because I want to give you guys a quick conversion secret here to help you out, because a lot of people, they have trouble converting their leads into sales. And here's the number one secret for how you convert more of your leads into sales after you get them to reach out to you and start a conversation. You want to know what it is? Help them to see that they're going to get more selling stuff. Everybody thinks, oh, I got to be an icky salesperson. That's not true at all. Selling is nothing more than an exchange of value. So if you're like, oh, that guru Tyson, he's just like all the rest, all his, BS. He shows up, he tries to sell me something on his webinar, right? I hear that kind of stuff all the time. And I'm like, hold on, aren't you here because you want to sell more stuff? That's a little weird. Maybe it's your energy around selling that's causing you to have trouble to sell stuff, right? Anybody who says that, what it tells me is they think selling is icky, it's hypey, it's taking advantage of people. That's not true at all. Selling is nothing more than an exchange of value. It's Ray saying, listen, if you value your health and your energy and, looking better and living longer more than you value the amount of money I'm asking you to give me, then this is worth it. The people who don't see that value, they say, it's not for me. They make excuses. Oh, I don't have the money, right? What they're really saying is, I just don't see the value. I don't believe it'll work for me, right? They're saying, I don't see the value exchange. And so for anybody here who's on the fence, if you're saying, I don't know, all I ask you to ask yourself is this: do you believe that you would make at least $500 back over time? To me, that's the gauge for me in any training course that I purchase, right? When I went to college, I didn't say, well, is this, is this course really going to be worth it? Do I have the money? I just said, listen, if I spend $30,000 to go to college, will I eventually make that money back by getting a job and, furthering? Yeah, I will. I knew it was an investment. So that's why I justified the decision. I knew I would get more value back from my investment, and it might take me a while. I believe you're going to get a lot more value back a lot more quickly from this program, hell of a lot faster than 4-year college education that cost me $30,000 and you got to go into debt for. So the real gauge here for you to ask is, for $500, that seems expensive. Oh, guys, to me, my gauge for any product is, do I believe that I will make at least that amount back over time by acquiring this information and implementing it into my business? That's why I own so many coaching programs, why I own so many products. If your answer is, nope, I don't believe I would make $500 back, then, well, I think first of all, maybe you need to change your business model. Well, I mean, what the hell are you selling? You have a $1 store, or you can't, even if you had a $1 store, 500 customers would make your money back. But I bet most of you, if you made $100 commission, all you need is 5 sales in order to make your money back. And then you're 100% in profit. And most importantly, you have a skill set that will pay you for the rest of your life, right? When I went to college, I acquired a skill set and a set of knowledge that I could keep using over and over and over and over again after I had finally paid that investment off. And so my question to you guys is not, do you think $500 is, I get people to say, oh, this is digital. Now, if this was tangible, if you sent it to me in the mail, then it would be valuable. That doesn't make any sense to me. To me, is the information that I'm acquiring going to change my life and my business enough that I will make that $500 back, that investment back, and then some, to where it makes sense for me to make this investment. If you don't believe that that's the case, then again, I haven't done my job and you shouldn't buy from me. You should not buy the product today. But if you really want this and you're actually going to take action and you understand that you have literally no risk other than putting in a little bit of your time, then there is absolutely no reason for you not to grab the course right now, because I am guaranteeing that you will get at least 100 leads in the next 30 days. Ray's results are even better than that. I have one student, Angel is his name, who got 100 leads in 2 days. with this course. I've got his testimonial somewhere hidden on my computer. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but he posted it in our Inner Circle Facebook group. And so that would be that's really, if you're on the fence, that's my recommendation. My gauge to you is just ask yourself, can I make my money back on this over time? If so, it should be a no-brainer, because you're essentially getting paid to acquire a new Angel. There he is. Thank you, Angel, for validating that testimonial, that I'm not lying. I'm not making up testimonials. Angel's right here on this very webinar, and he just said that was me. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have for you. Let me see if I've got anything else I need to show you here. And while we're finishing up, if you have any questions, would you please type them in right now? Questions for Ray because guys, if you've asked Ray questions earlier, there's a good chance that they've gotten lost in the sea of other questions. Would you please ask them again right now? And if my support staff notices it's a question, hopefully she'll turn it into a queue so I can find it a little more easily. And then I'll answer a few logistical questions about the course itself for anybody who needs a little bit of clarification on that. Can you go through the course at your own pace? Yes, absolutely. You could start it today. You could be through the first 2 modules by the end of the day today. It's really a quick course, so time should not be an issue. How long do you have access? Forever. Your login details will never expire. You can log in at any time today, 3 months from now, 3 years, or 30 years from now. Will you get access to everything immediately? Yes. Within 10 minutes, you'll have your email with your username and your password. Could I log in on multiple devices? We have a lot of people that want to know that. Yes. So you can log in on up to 3 devices. So as long as you're not giving this, your password to your team or somebody else, as long as it's just 3 devices, like you could log in and then your spouse could log in on a different device. You could log in on your phone and listen in your car on the way to work or while you're on the treadmill or whatever. You could, so that way, you can listen to these lessons while you're on the go. So yes, up to 3 devices. And do I get updates? Yes. Anytime I post an update in the course, you get lifetime access to any update I ever provide for this particular course. And so I've already talked about the refund guarantee. The only thing you're going to lose if you buy, that you could lose, is just a little bit of your time. But, think about all the things you can gain: a lifelong skill set and business growth. And maybe you could quit your job if you're still working part-time. You can get out of debt, retire your spouse, have more financial freedom, whatever it is that you want. But if you don't buy, the things you're going to lose if you say no to this today, well, first of all, I'm closing the card on Friday. So you're going to lose the discounted price. You're going to lose access to get it because you will see an expiration notice. You're going to lose potentially months or even years of trying to figure this out on your own, as opposed to me just showing you, go do this, so that you've got a treasure map of do this, go here, here's where to dig to get results. You're going to lose the chance of having your business set up in 30 days quickly, as opposed to fumbling around for 1 to 2 years. And you could literally lose thousands on ad spend by not knowing what to do and getting your account shut down the way that Ray did. And so I already went over all of this. So I think at this point, I'm gonna quit with the pitch. You guys have your link. Here it is. At this point, I'm just gonna come back up on the screen. And if Ray wants to come back up on the screen as well with her webcam, we can answer any questions that you guys have. Mary says, Ray, what advantages besides the breakfasts do your registrants get over just a free group membership?
Brilliant question. They get so much value. In fact, I have a young lady who joined a challenge a couple of weeks ago, and then she said she wanted to join the next one but had no money. I said, no problem. She was also in the community, and she got information and advice and education and value in that community, so much so that she reached out to me and she said, I just have to do this again. I'm going to figure it out, and she actually got on a full program as opposed to the 6-day program, and is in the challenge that is literally going on today. So the advantages are, outside of the breakfast that they get, there's a lot of coaching advice that they get within the challenge group that they don't get in the community. The community, we give them some education and kind of entice them to join the challenge if they haven't already. We have testimonials in there, previous challengers, winners holding $500, that have been in previous challenges. So they see the value that they're going to get already starting in the community. And then we transfer them over to a separate private group that is only the 50 challengers, where they get tons and tons of value and really learn how to develop habits that they can take with them beyond the 6 days that will help them get the results that we initially promised.
Excellent. Thank you. That's awesome for sharing that. I'm going to answer a quick question about the course, and then I'll get back to another question for Ray. Jan is asking, so Jan owns another one of my products called the Attraction Marketing Bundle, I'm guessing. She says, should I finish that? And what's the difference? So this course that you're getting today is very specific towards getting leads to reach out to you in Messenger without a capture page, without all the moving parts, okay? So whereas Attraction Marketing Bundle is a bit more of an kind of an all-encompassing, lots of strategies to get people to reach out to you, whereas this course is very targeted specifically towards Messenger. I don't cover Messenger marketing and how to build bots at all inside of the Attraction Marketing Bundle. This really what this is a Facebook Messenger. Tactically, this is a Facebook Messenger course. Strategically, it is a how to attract people to you with the right messaging, and then but how to message them and how to attract people in a way that specifically gets them reaching out to you in Messenger. And that kind of training is simply not there in the bundle. They work really well together, so they're great to have. But my recommendation to you, Jan, if you grab this, I would recommend that you actually go through this course, 100 Leads in 30 Days, because it's a faster course to get through. The Attraction Marketing Bundle has lots of pieces to it, and I would really, and it's great, but I would use that as kind of a, let me add this part from the bundle on to this strategy in Attract 100 Leads in 30 Days. After you've really started implementing this, because this is laser focused on just getting quick results. Because one of the things that makes this possible for you to get 100 leads in 30 days is that it's the setup process is so quick. It's literally, you don't have to get a website, because so many people get tied down and bogged down with all of the little moving parts. Oh, I got to set up a capture page. I got to get my Facebook page all perfect and set up a email autoresponder and get all my emails set up. And it's just like, Ray just went, all right, I'm going to post a simple post and promise something and get them reaching out to me in Messenger, like a couple simple steps. And she was getting leads very, very, very quickly with, some great results. So yeah, that's my answer to that, Jan. I hope that answers it. I'm having a lot of people, I'm going to have you answer this, but I hope that my preface doesn't point you in a certain way, but I'm going to guess what I think you're probably doing, because Taryn and a couple other people are saying, I want to know what your process is to basically close these people. Like, how are you closing them on the phone? And what I want everybody here to understand, then I'm going to let Ray give her answer, is this. A lot of people are looking for like a magic script, or what are the magic words I need to say to close people? And I think Ray gave you a big hint earlier into how she's closing people in her automated questionnaire that she sends out via a bot. She is finding out why they opted in the first place. She's basically getting them to tell her how to close them. She's getting them to say, okay, what are you most interested in? Are you interested in weight loss? Are you most interested in having more energy? Are you most interested in, what are some of the options there, Ray? I'm just curious. Hold on, say that again. I don't know if it's me or just everybody. I didn't hear you.
So it's weight loss, more energy, or just overall health improvement.
Okay. So she's finding out before she ever gets on the phone with them. She's in other words, she's acquiring some ammunition so that when she gets on the phone with them, she can say, hey, listen, if you're struggling with energy, and they're like, oh yeah, I am. She can talk to them specifically about that problem. Does that make sense? So that's one of the biggest things for you to understand. Now, having said that, I want you to tell us, do you have any tips on how you're closing? Is there a special word or a special script or whatever? Give us some tips on how you're closing your leads into sales.
Yeah. And by the way, we have 5 people that have signed on as full, clients, recurring orders and everything. But we have 40 people waiting that have said yes. They're just waiting until we can put them in the next challenge. So I'm
Right.
excited to see how that turns out. And really on the call with them, or even if it's a text, I've had a couple people that prefer to text. I ask them so many questions about them. It's not about the product. It's very little actually about the challenge. The majority is about them. And because it's a clean eating challenge, most of my questions on the phone pertain to what they're eating. Um,
Gotcha.
and and boy, people go on and on and on, and oh, I ate this or I didn't eat this, and all the things that they say. It's about a 10 to 15-minute conversation with each person. I would say if I broke that 15 minutes up, about 8 minutes is about them. And when they start talking, I literally write everything down, not saying that you have to do this, but things come out when they're speaking that gives me, if you will, ammunition,
Hmm.
on how to close them at the end. If they tell me, well, I'm really struggling, I can't stay consistent. And for those of you in health and wellness, I will give you one tip for our business. As someone who specializes in weight loss, I tell all of my clients, I'm not going to help you lose weight because you already know how to do that. Haven't you lost 5 or 10 pounds? Yes, they always say yes. And then
Right.
I say, but then you've gained it back, right? So I'm going to teach you how to keep it off. That's what the 6-day Eat Clean Challenge will do for you, is keep your weight off so that you have long-term results beyond the 6 days. And for people, that just makes sense. It's something in an approach that they typically don't hear. Typically, people in health and nutrition talk about how I'm going to help you lose weight and it's going to be amazing. When truth be told, most women, and I'm a woman almost 50, have already lost weight. So what they're really looking for is, can you make it not come back? And that's
Gotcha.
what I focus on.
That's great. Yeah. And so, guys, I think the big secret here, for those of you that want to know how to close better, a lot of people get nervous about getting on the phone with people because they think I have to sell them. And if you get on the phone with people and you start thinking of yourself as a consultant instead of a salesperson, the job is going to be way easier. You're going to be way less nervous, because I would bet if I asked everybody on here, who here likes to sell, who here likes to try to be a hypey salesperson, I bet 95 out of 100 of you would say, no way. That gives me the willies. I'd almost rather be waterboarded than that. It sounds terrible, right? But when what Ray has done that is so brilliant is she's positioning herself as a consultant. She's saying, listen, let's just get on the phone and do a wellness evaluation so I can answer your questions, I can help you. And she's finding out where their struggles are. In other words, the call is way more about them and what they want and what their problems and struggles and passions and desires and goals are, way more of that than it is about her product. Because at the end of the day, at the end of that call, even, all she has to do in order to close is say, well, listen, I mean, you guys want to know, if you want the one-liner, here's the one-liner that Ray, I don't know if she's using it, but it's what I would recommend she use. It's this: based on what you've told me on this call, I would recommend blank. That's how you close. But you have to have your listening ears on in order to get that information. And if you just ask the right questions and you listen more than you speak, and you position yourself as a consultant more than you do a hypey salesperson wanting to talk about your thing, and then at the end of the call, you say, hey, listen, based on what you've told me here today, I think the best product for you would be blank. Would you be interested in, this, if I could show you exactly how it would help you get blank result, blank result, blank result that you just told me you wanted on this call? Now, who's going to say no to that? They just told you on the call everything they want, right? Just like on this call, I know what you guys want. Like, what I should have done at the very beginning of this call was said, hey, listen, why are you here? What results do you want? How do you want to change your business? And then but I know what you want. All I'd have to do at the end of this call, in order to make my program make sense to you, is say, listen, if you're serious about not chasing family and friends anymore, if you're serious about really growing your business, if you're serious about quitting your job, if you're serious about retiring your spouse, giving to your favorite charity, spending more time with your kids, if you're serious about all of that stuff, then this product can absolutely help you get to that next level and help you achieve all of those things. Now, I didn't have to ask you those questions because I know my market well enough, and I know why you're here. I know that those are your desires because those were my desires. Those were Ray's desires when she started her business. And so when I tie those desires back to my product and I can say, listen, if that's what you really want and you're serious about getting it, this program will show you step by step how to get leads without chasing your family members and friends, so you can quit chasing people around. You can quit, having friends and family laugh at you, and you can start talking to people who really genuinely have a desire for what you have to offer. If that's what you want, you're going to go, all right, this makes sense. He just tied it back to my goals and my desires. And when you're talking to your leads, if you don't yet know what their desires are, you need to ask the right questions. And I'll tell you what I'll do. If you have not got in yet, I will also throw in another bonus that I haven't even shown on the screen. I'm gonna throw in my closing fast start. It's going to give you, basically, if you get on the phone with people, I'll give you 5 questions to ask in order that will give you all of the ammunition you need for you to, number 1, position yourself as a consultant, and number 2, to be able to go just like Ray and say, hey, based on what you've told me, I would recommend you do this. Okay, it's called the Closing Fast Start. It's a really fast training. I will give it to you as a bonus, and I guarantee you, if you use that, when you talk to your leads, you will absolutely close way more sales, and I'm going to throw that in as a bonus to everybody that buys from this webinar. You got to grab right now. So if you have not purchased yet, make sure that you get in. We're going to answer just a few more questions here. If one of my support reps is on, would you just give us maybe a few shout outs, maybe a few congratulations? Because actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. Ray, I'm going to let you answer one more question here. So Kay Ann is saying, do you use a personal page or a group page for the ad? I'll just answer that because it's simple. You can't run ads from a group. You have to have a business page, and you can't run ads from a personal page. Ads can only be run from a business page. And if you don't have a fan page or a business page set up, my Facebook Fast Start training will show you exactly how to get that set up so that you can run ads. Okay. And no, you do not have to have a big following to start running ads from a page. I mean, you can start running ads with a brand new page if you want. I've done that. Okay. Here's a question for you, Ray. I'm going to let you answer this while I look up something here on my computer. Taryn is asking, what is your process if they don't book an appointment for follow-up? Do you do anything else, or is it just kind of like, hey, these people are now part of my audience, I'll just keep providing value, building a relationship, and when they're ready, they're ready? Or do you have something in place or plan on building? What's going on right now with that for you?
We are planning. Brian is the other half of our business, and he is actually setting up a broadcast because the community actually wasn't in place when we first started the ad. It kind of evolved. So now we're going to do a broadcast to invite people back to the community, and then eventually follow up through, I don't know if we'll ever use email to follow up again, probably both, but definitely broadcast through all of our audience subscribers that we have.
Okay, very good. Excellent. And by the way, I'm seeing a really nice note here from Taryn, who is, she owns a lot of my products. And I just want to say thank you, Taryn, for taking the time to post this. It was really sweet of you. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I'll try to broadcast her comment into the room. But she said, just an FYI, she said, I own all of Tyson's courses, and I'm still planning on buying this product to simplify the customer acquisition for my team without having landing pages and websites. So Taryn, I appreciate you saying that. Taryn has been a great customer, and I really do appreciate her. I'm going to ask, actually, let me give a few congratulations, and then I want to have Ray answer just a few more questions, and then we'll finish up here. So first of all, congratulations. We have had a ton of people purchase on this webinar. Congratulations to Caitlin, Fran, Fernando, Fabian, Amy, Patricia, Rika, Elizabeth, Bill, Angela, Lucy, Brenda, Let's see, who else? Crystal, Kimberlyn, Corey, Kelly, Rhonda, Darlene, congratulations, Laura, Pamela, Justine. So lots of folks purchasing from this webinar. Thank you for getting in. I know that you're going to love it, and you should. If you don't have your login details already via email, make sure you check your spam folder. Sometimes that email does land either in a spam, or if you're on Gmail, it goes into a promotions folder. So if you don't see that email, check there first. And if you have any trouble, yes, I will keep the price $497 until Friday. But those 3 fast start bonuses, you got to make sure that you get in now in order to grab them. Mary is asking Ray, what is Ray's last name? Ray's last name, Perman? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes. Correct.
Perman?
Yeah. Perman. Mm-hmm.
Perman? Okay. And then Natalie is asking, have you heard of Life Leadership? I have not. Is that a specific company, Tammy? I'm sorry, Natalie, is that a specific company? I've not exactly heard of that, but anyway. Not that this is what Natalie's getting at, but I do want to answer this because a lot of people come on and they say, yeah, but Tyson, how will this work for X company? But Tyson, I'm in this company. How will it work? And you'll notice Ray didn't talk about her company in her ad at all. It's not about your company. Everybody thinks, but Tyson, will this work for Amway? Will it work for Legal Shield? Will it work for this company? If your products, if your products can help people get a result, right? Then this will work for you, because Ray's ad is not about the product or the company. It's about the result that it can help people get. And if you answered yes to any one of those 5 questions I gave you earlier, right? Do your prospects ask any questions before they buy? Do they struggle with problems that you can help them solve? Do you have any stories that you could tell? Are there stories of people who had something awful, like in Legal Shield, something awful that happened because they didn't have the right legal coverage, or in financial services because they bought the wrong insurance and now their home wasn't covered? That's a story that you could tell. And you could say, hey, by the way, if you want my simple 3-step checklist to see if your house is covered in the event of a tornado or a disaster, reach out to me in Facebook. That's a simple, logical next step. Reach out to me in Messenger. I'll give you my simple 3-step checklist that you can look 3 places inside of your homeowner's policy, and in 5 minutes, you can tell whether you're covered, right? That's how that would work if you're an insurance agent. If you're in real estate, it'd be like, all right, what do people want? They want to sell their home quickly. So they don't want a realtor. Nobody wants a realtor. They want to sell their home quickly. So how could you say, hey, here's 3 ways to add instant curb appeal to your home so that your home sells faster than anybody else on the block, right? Now that would attract the kind of person who's selling their home, who needs a realtor. It positions you as an expert. And then you say, hey, by the way, I've got, 5 other secrets on how you can stage your home to sell it really quickly. In addition to the curb appeal, this is what you do on the inside of your home. Reach out to me inside a Messenger, and now you've got a lead. It's the perfect kind of person who would want a realtor. Are you guys getting this? Does that make sense? What about a travel agent? All right, Laura's saying, what about a travel agent? Well, could you say, here's the 5 hottest vacation destinations for couples looking to go on a honeymoon in 2018, right? And you tell them what they are, and then you say, hey, by the way, there are a couple of little hacks that I'm just making this up off the top of my head, Laura. You're going to know more than I do, but you could say, hey, by the way, there are a couple of little hacks that honeymooners can do to save money that most people never know about. I'm going to give you 10 of them for free if you reach out to me inside of Messenger. It's totally free. It's a little PDF that you can download, and it's 10 things that you can do to save money. And maybe you give them a tip on something that they could do at the airport. You give them a tip on something like asking for an upgrade at the hotel or whatever. That attracts the kind of person. So you could specifically talk to honeymooners. Like with that, you could talk to families in a totally different way. You could talk to, people who maybe own timeshares and they're sick of their timeshare fees. So think of who are the people who love to travel, who are looking to travel, who already travel, and how can I help them solve their problems? If I was a travel agent, if I'm traveling with kids, I get so frustrated when I have to travel with my children, because it's like the stuff that go, carrying all their bags and going through the airport with kids. It's like, what if you said, hey, are you a family member who gets stressed out when you travel with your kids? Here's a really great tip. for how you can make, traveling with your children a whole lot simpler. You give them a quick little tip on Facebook, and then you say, hey, here's 5 additional tips that I'll give you right inside of Facebook to make, traveling with children a whole lot easier. Is this making sense? Are you guys getting this? This is all stuff I'm coming up with the top of my head. So there's no reason you guys, if you just do a little bit of research, just go to Google and type in tips for families traveling with children. And I bet you're going to find all kinds of simple ideas that you could compile together in a free giveaway and say, hey, reach out to me in Messenger. And now you've got somebody who's asking you for information that specifically indicates this is a person who wants to travel, who loves to travel, who's looking for travel ideas. Okay. And so I hope you guys are seeing there's really almost no business that this won't work for. You just have to ask yourself, what does my prospect want in terms of a result? And how can I help them get that result or fix a problem or a frustration before I ever try to talk to them about my product and what I'm interested in? That's the secret. And that's what Ray has done so well. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with here, because we've been on for a little over 2 hours, and I want to respect Ray's time. So we're going to log off here in just a few minutes. So if you haven't purchased yet, now's the time to get in. Ray, I want you to speak very quickly to the Inner Circle coaching. Because first of all, this is a bonus that if you guys didn't hear earlier, if you need more clarification, the Inner Circle is it's a coaching program that you get access to. So if you sign up for this course, I'm going to give you 30 days of totally free access to my Inner Circle coaching program. In that group, we do 2 live calls every month. Now, on this call, we had over 500 people at the height of this call. So there was no way I could answer everyone's calls. The Inner Circle is a much smaller, intimate group. We do 2 live calls a month, just like this, where number 1, you can submit your ads. Like when Ray had trouble with her ad, she submitted the ad and said, hey, what did I do wrong? This isn't working. How can I fix it? And it was like so much faster for her to get into results, right? And so that's part of it. We also have a Facebook group. And one of the real values there is that you can see what's working for other people. So like Ray will put like, hey, here's some results that we got. She'll share what she's doing in the group. And that's something that only people inside of that Facebook group are going to get access to. So you're going to get to see ideas from so many people in so many other niches where you get to get your questions answered from other people in the group who are going through exactly what you're going through. So Ray has been a member long past that free trial. She's been a member of that Inner Circle for a long time. So I assume she hasn't just forgotten about her membership and just let the auto ship just keep paying. So I'd like her to speak very quickly about what kind of value she's getting there, if that, the Inner Circle membership has been valuable, why people may want to consider after their 30 days to remain a member in that group.
I'm going to be completely transparent here. My first 30 days in the Inner Circle, I was really watching and skeptical. Like I didn't believe that any of this was really going to work for me because so many things had failed me in the past. And I got on that first member review call with Tyson, and it was so interesting because it wasn't about my industry or about network marketing. I want to say it was accounting or something. And my husband and I learned so much watching him review someone else's, information in their website and everything. And we're like taking notes like crazy. So after the first call, I said to my husband, I think we might stay in this a little bit longer. And then after the second call, I was just completely floored. I want to say it was 4 hours, but it was incredible. I got so much information that I could take right from that call. He wasn't even reviewing our business. It was someone else's, several people's businesses, and how we could apply those things. So he's right. If you're going, oh, she's in health and wellness, and this doesn't apply to me, that's just wrong. Because everything he teaches can apply to every business. I've even helped a friend of mine in real estate who's going through Tyson's courses now, because it just is applicable to every business. But after that first 30 days in the Inner Circle, I was like, that's it. I'm never leaving. To have this kind of contact with Tyson and getting his input and his expertise has transformed our business. We've, in just the last 6 months, we've added an additional $3,000 to our income, implementing the strategies that Tyson has taught us in several of his courses and being a part of that inner circle. So it's not just about the money, but it is about the money. I want to monetize the things that he's teaching us. And we're absolutely, it's worth it. It's beyond worth it. In fact, I told him he needs to raise his prices because the value that we're getting, I make more than I spend with Tyson every single month implementing the strategies that he's sharing with us in the inner circle. And lastly, for 15 years, we didn't have an upline mentor in our business. They kind of got us started and left the business. And so we've been searching and seeking someone who, A, understood what we were doing, our business, but B, was going to really hold our hands and take us through the process of growing our business. And I know that's why it's grown over the last 6 months more than it has in the last 5 years.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying all of that. And I want to thank Taryn again, another really nice comment from Taryn. She is another one of our Inner Circle members. She said it is amazing. Did I say that right, Taryn? Did I do that right? She says, I've paid over $60,000 in coaching, and Tyson is the most hands-on coach I've ever worked with. Most coaches will spend far more with less attention than what Tyson gives. So thank you, Taryn, for saying that. And so really, I want to answer 2 questions about the Inner Circle, because you do get a 30-day free trial. You can certainly cancel, and if your 30 days you don't feel are worth it, you don't want to remain a member, it's totally fine. Your 30 days are free. But if you want to remain a member, Jan is asking, first of all, what does the Inner Circle cost after the 30 days? So Ray was one of the ones who actually spurred. She said, you need to be charging way more than what you're charging. Our prices have gone up. So we are now charging more for the Inner Circle than what Ray is paying. Ray is paying $97 per month for her membership. That's pretty cheap, considering the fact that, like Taryn just said, she's paid over $60,000 in coaching. And if you want to hire me one-on-one to actually get on the phone with you one-on-one, I charge $1,000 per hour. So if you, like Tyson, get on the phone with me and help me individually, it's $1,000 because I have tens of thousands of people on my list who want my time. And I simply had to find a way that I could help people in a leveraged way that leveraged my time. And so I also wanted to try and make it affordable. And so for me, the Inner Circle was the way that I could do that, to get onto live group calls. And really, it's other than the fact that you are getting your review from me personally, like Ray has even gotten on her webcam just like this, and we talk one-on-one. She shares her screen, and I say, here's what you need to fix. Here's what's going wrong. And we talk, right? But the only difference is that instead of nobody else seeing it, you're in front of a group environment so that everyone else can learn from what you're doing, and you get the benefit. Like Ray said, she saw an accountant getting a review and said, oh, wow, I see a lot of things that I could implement even from an accountant into my health and wellness network marketing business, right? And so that's really the only difference, is that you're getting help in a group environment, but the help is still personalized from me. And I'm answering your questions one-on-one, and I'm seeing lots of other people. Thank you. Kimberlyn said, it's worth every penny. Sonny commented, and he said, the Inner Circle is definitely worth every penny. Don't dabble. Trust me. And so the Inner Circle, I have raised my prices. However, this is one of the reasons why you want to make sure that you activate your free trial right away. We have raised the price of the Inner Circle to $147 per month. But, somebody else asked, who was it? Paula says, can you just enroll in the Inner Circle? Not anymore. I used to make it to where you could get into the Inner Circle by just paying the first month. And now I've completely shut down those pages. And the reason why is because I was getting a lot of, as Sonny calls them, I was getting a lot of dabblers. I was getting a lot of people who just weren't serious. And they would maybe, really, whenever I have somebody first buy a course for $500, it qualifies that person as somebody who's actually serious, okay? And so I only want serious people because it benefits the whole group when we have serious people and not dabblers in there. And it makes it to where we're not because I can only do so many reviews on one call. And if I'm wasting my time with somebody who, number one, if they don't have my course to get up to speed with where other people are, we end up covering a lot of the same things over and over. We end up wasting a lot of time. And so by making someone buy a course first, it first of all qualifies them to be, a high quality person that everybody in the group is going to get value from. They're going to be able to get up to speed so they don't feel stupid. Like, well, how do you know this and I don't? Well, they've got this course. So yeah, the only way you can get into the inner circle anymore is to buy one of my programs for $500. Right now, the only way to get in is to buy this product and then take your 30-day free trial. And then after that, to stick around. There's a couple of reasons why you might want to stick around as a member past your 30 days. 3 reasons. Number 1, if you come back, you will have to pay the higher price. I only give you will get to lock in at the same price that Ray is at. So if you remain a member, you'll pay $97 a month instead of $147. So you're going to be locked in at the lower price. If you come back at a later date, price is $147, and I will not. If you join a second time, you're going to have to pay $147 a month. That's first of all. Second of all, you get every month that you remain an active member, I'm going to give you a free course, just like Attract 100 Leads in 30 Days, valued at $500, just as a part of your membership, right? So for $97, I'm going to give you a course. One month it might be on, how to make webinars. Another month it might be on how to do Facebook Live video marketing. Another month it might be on YouTube. Another month it might be on, generating leads with a capture page. And so you're going to get a new training every single month. So it's kind of like a little university for just $97, and you're going to be locked in at that price. So that's another. And if you come back at a later date, you won't get those bonuses, what we call the Legacy Collection bonuses. And then the third main reason is that, just like I told Paula, you can't just join the inner circle. The only way to get in is to buy a $500 course from me. So in 2 months, you might hear me do a webinar on how to sell with webinars, right? I might teach you how to do webinars, and I might sell my webinar creation course, and you might go, oh my God, I want that. So now you have to spend $500 to get back into the inner circle. And if you had just stayed a member, you would have gotten that webinar course as a part of your membership after 4 months or something anyway. So those are 3 of the biggest reasons why you might want to stay a member, but there's no pressure for you to do so. So yeah, anyway, I hope that all makes sense. And yes, the discount is only good for 3 days after you purchase. So you got this offer ends on Friday. Okay. The offer that I just made you on this webinar, it ends on Friday. The cart will close. And then if you want to get in your circle, you want to get this course, you'll have to wait if I do another promotion. I'm not sure if I will. If I do, there's a good chance the price will be $997. Because we're gathering more and more testimonials every day that make it worth that asking price. And so now's the time to grab before Friday if you really want to get into this program. And then you have to activate your 30-day free trial right away. Okay. If you buy today and you try and activate next week, it's going to be $147. You're locked in at the $147 plan. You have to activate right away to get locked in at that $97 lower price that Ray and other former members are currently paying. Okay. So anyway, I think that's pretty much all of the questions. Does anybody have a final last question that you've got for Ray? I'll give you a minute to ask a question to Ray. And while you're doing that, I'm going to give one more example, because somebody's saying, well, what if I'm selling bags? What if I'm selling jewelry? Right. So again, let me just ask this. Let me share my screen just so you know I'm not blowing smoke. All right. If I go to YouTube right now, all right. Not a jewelry person, but okay, right here is a video. 27,000 people have watched this video. So is there a market for this? Tips for matching jewelry with clothes, women's style. So are there people out there who are women who value being stylish. They value understanding what bag would go best with what outfit. What jewelry should I wear with this outfit versus that outfit? Here's one on how to accessorize your outfits, how to layer necklaces. Well, I don't know, like, is there, what problems do people have when they buy, or what questions might they have when they buy jewelry? Is it like, how do I know what ring size I am? Or, I mean, what kinds of questions would qualify a person who loves jewelry and is looking, they're in the market to buy jewelry right now? How to mix and match jewelry, how to pair jewelry, how to wear, 3 essential jewelry pieces. What kind of bag is appropriate to wear to a wedding versus a funeral? I don't know. Again, I'm not into fashion and I can come up with these ideas. So my goodness, if you are in that market and you're passionate about it, why in the world can you not? Literally in less than 2 minutes, I did a YouTube search and I just had 5 new ideas for content that I could use to attract somebody to me who would love jewelry, who would be totally interested in fashion or handbags or jewelry. Does that make sense? I mean, come on, guys. This isn't rocket science, what we're doing here. All right. So let me see if there's any other questions here. Taryn is saying, we have a testimonial group, but it's a secret group. How can we get people to join without adding them? And how do you track whose lead it is? We're trying to figure out a better, honestly, I don't have an answer for that because none of my groups are secret. My groups are closed, which means I can give someone a link to the group. But if it's a secret group, my understanding is that they actually have to be invited. They have to get an invitation in order to join. And even if you give them a link, they can't get into a secret group. This is why I just make all of my groups closed, which means they can't get into the group unless they are approved. They can request, like anybody could find my Inner Circle group. You could go onto Facebook right now and say, hey, Tyson's on our Inner Circle. You'll find the group, but it's going to ask you a questionnaire. And my support staff will review, is this person eligible to be in this group or not? And if they're not, they'll delete your request. So that's the way we handle it, Taryn. I don't know. Ray, do you have closed groups or secret groups? Do you have any insights into that?
They're either closed or the one that is typically the secret group is the actual challenge. Okay. Because we want that completely. You're only put in there if you're a friend of ours and we add you to the group. But the community is a public group because obviously we want anybody to be able to find it. And great question, Taryn. You obviously have a downline or working with people. How do you know whose lead is who? I do have other coaches in our team that are part of the community. And you only approve, number one, you only approve your person. And number two, one of our questions we ask is who invited you to the group?
Right. Yeah. So like when people join if you're not doing this already, Taryn, I imagine you probably are because I know you and I know you're fairly savvy. But for those of you that don't know, when you create a Facebook group, there's a setting where you can say, require this person to answer a few questions before allowing them, to join the group. And so that's just a simple thing you can set up. And so you would simply ask in that questionnaire, who referred you to this group? And if they don't answer that question, you don't let them in the group or you message them back and say, hey, we have to know who referred you in order to let you in. So that's it. There's not really, as far as I know, a good automated way to track it. So there is a little bit of, manual work there, but that's how I would handle it if I were going to, if I were building a team of people in network marketing the way that you and Ray are doing. And groups are very, very powerful for that. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Ray, I know some folks here are wanting to kind of follow you and kind of maybe watch what you're doing. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with giving them a link that they can, they can find you and maybe follow your page and maybe even friend you if that's something you want, or just if you just want to give us your business page so that they can kind of see some of your posts and stalk what you're doing there. Maybe give us you let me know if that's something that you're okay with, and I can even give them the link.
Yeah, either is fine, the business page or my personal page, but you'll find on my personal page, especially since I've been, training with Tyson. On my business page, I used to, vomit my business all over the page. And I stopped doing that. So my personal page is my life. So you'll see my husband, my children, all those sort of things.
Would you say that things have noticeably been better, or not a lot of difference since you stopped being so much product centric on your page and just started being like, here's the audience we want to attract to our page? I mean, is that advice helpful to you, or have you not seen much of a difference? I'm curious on that.
I've seen a complete turnaround in our business. Complete. I mean, people are more curious about what we're doing, and they reach out to me more. I want to say I probably have, and you probably have a ton more, probably 30 to 40 friend requests of people, wanting to know more. Messenger. It's been incredible. And I didn't think it was going to work, Tyson. I really thought that, but I need to talk about my product all the time and take beautiful pictures of it and let people know I'm selling it.
Yeah, so that's what everybody thinks. I just posted a link to Ray's business page, right? That's the one I would personally recommend that you follow, because that's where you're going to see, because she's not, my understanding is she's not really promoting her business on her personal page. If I had to guess, correct me if I'm wrong, usually people say, well, what should I do that might spark conversations on my personal page? To me, the only thing for a personal page is like lifestyle stuff. Like maybe if I know she's going to a company event next week or this week, I guess. And like she might post a picture with a bunch of friends, hey, hanging out at an event, that maybe sparks a conversation that gets somebody to say, hey, where are you at? What's going on? What's this event you're at? And that spurs a conversation where she can go further. But it's not about talking about her product ever on the personal page. It's more lifestyle stuff. And if it doesn't fit the lifestyle thing, then I'm sure she doesn't do that. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to follow her, you could probably just find her by typing in Rae Perman, RaePermann, into Facebook. And I've given you her business page. So her business page is probably where you'd want to follow to see a bit more of what she's doing. And then finally, I think we'll end with this. Do we have any ideas for activity? What do you do with your group members? I think that's what is that how you pronounce your name? NJ? Do you have any tips on like, what do you do to engage your group once they're in that group?
So we have posts every day. And like I said, we do that with some of our downline and sideline. And there is literally a schedule every month of who needs to post and what types of posts to go in the group. It's a clean eating group, so we don't talk about fitness, although we support and encourage people to get fitness. But we're super clear on our objective to help people get some recipes and get some information about eating clean. Also, some of the people in the group haven't done this wellness evaluation, so we will promote for them to contact their coach to do a wellness evaluation. We promote the upcoming challenge that they can register for and get going. And then we also do Facebook Lives. We're doing it once a month right now. I know we should do it more often, but it's just kind of coming together. But in the live, we may interview someone and hear their testimony about being in the previous challenge, or we'll interview a winner. And that's pretty much what we do in that group. And then in the challenge group, we have challenges every single day for 6 days, something you have to do every day. And you have to actively comment that you've done it and show a picture that you've done it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a challenge. It would be just like the community. So we make them take an action every day. And if you don't take the action, you're immediately disqualified.
Nice. So they're incentivized, obviously, to engage in the group and stay engaged. Which what that means, that's really smart on your part, because Facebook's algorithm is going to say, okay, this person is in like 20 different groups. Here's one that they are constantly engaging with. So now when Rae posts Facebook Lives or posts, the algorithm is going to be way more likely to show it to them because Facebook says, well, this is a group that they have actively been engaged with. So we're going to make sure that our algorithm shows them stuff that's pertinent to them. And so that's a really smart move on her part to incentivize them to engage, to say, hey, you got a comment that you're actually doing this. So really, really smart. Good for you, Ray. And Brian is saying, Brian says that this is Ray's husband. He said that even on their business page, the product and the company are minimal, right? The mention of the product, it's like you'd have to search for it to find exactly what company they're in. Because again, it's not about a company. It's about an audience. Because I just want you guys to think about this for a minute. I know Ray and Brian love their company, right? And they're in a great company. I know they are. But let's just say that some craziness happened and the FTC came and shut down their company tomorrow, right? Let's say that whatever, I don't know, the company said, hey, your best-selling product that is selling so well for you, we've decided to remove it from our product line. Ray honestly doesn't own anything in her company because it's somebody else making all those decisions about what products and what the comp plan is going to work like, and how they're going to promote and how the comp plan is structured. So, and all the legal things. At any moment, that company could either change their rules, it could get shut down by a government agency, whatever. And we've seen this with a lot of companies recently getting shut down. When Ray is now building an audience of people who are simply interested in having more energy, being healthy, living a great lifestyle, and who like her and who are engaged with her, it wouldn't matter. I mean, I'm sure she would be devastated if she had to start over, but she would be in a much better position if her company got shut down tomorrow than the person who, hey, join XYZ company, we're awesome. And they built everything around the company. And now they have to start over from ground zero. When she said, let's build a page around nutrition, around people who want to live a healthy lifestyle, who want to have more energy, around women who trust me and love the advice and the help I'm giving them. They see me as a coach and a trusted advisor. She could jump ship tomorrow and say, hey guys, I found some new products that I think would help you. And now it's about Ray and her recommendations and not a product or a company. And Brian just took the words right out of my mouth. Your business is not your product. Your business is not your company. Take the car wrap off of your car. It's not going to sell anything, right? Your business is you and the value that you provide to your audience and the relationship you have with them. And that is what has made, that's really the secret behind what has made Ray's strategy work so well and what has made my business thrive as well. So in fact, Merlina, is that how you pronounce your name? I'm going to show her a comment real quick. She just said, I've just been through a company that collapsed, and I absolutely agree. It's all about the relationship with my audience and my customers. People have started with a new company using their customer base. So if people trust you and they love you and not just the company, you could move to a new company tomorrow and a large part of your customer base would follow you. Darlene is asking, Tammy just said this has been the best 2 hours. Actually, we're at about 2 hours and a half, and I am going to 5 minutes and we're done. So thank you, Tammy, for saying that. And I'm going to finish with Darlene's question. This is the last one, okay? Do you have an explanation or a course about using social media? Like, do you use Facebook for certain posts and Instagram for another? Do you recommend only using business page on Facebook or both? So by the way, Darlene, a lot of these questions are actually answered right inside of this course, okay? But the short answer to your question, Darlene, is this, and maybe Ray will chime in on this as well if she's got a different thought, but essentially, here's what I want you to understand. So many people get tied up and bogged down with the media that they're going to use. What media is best? Should I be on Instagram? Should I be on Facebook? Should I do YouTube? Which one is best? And to me, the number one thing that most people forget, and they should be focusing on way more than media, is message. It's who's my audience and what kind of message should I put in front of them? Because guys, listen, if you have a hungry audience, I don't care if you put the message in front of them on Instagram or YouTube or on a paper napkin. If they're hungry for results, they're going to reach out to you and want to take the next step. Okay. And my analogy for that is this. If I am in the desert and I am thirsty and I haven't had water in a day and a half, is it going to matter to me if somebody's holding up a cardboard sign or a fancy printed sign, right? I mean, so many people get caught up in the presentation of how pretty their page needs to be, or what media is. Should it be a cardboard sign, or should I print it out, and should it be a digital? So should I put up a billboard in the desert? It doesn't freaking matter. If I'm thirsty and I haven't had a drink in a day and a half, and you have a sign that says free canteens right here, I am making my way to you. I don't care how sloppy your sign is, right? So stop thinking about stuff. You don't have to think so much about, well, should it be on my personal page or my business page? I mean, personally, and I go through this in the course, I recommend your business page, because that's where you can build a real audience of people around a certain topic, where to me, your personal page should be more of, and plus your business page could grow to 100,000 or 300,000. You can only get 5,000 friends on your personal page, and you can't run ads from your personal page. For many reasons, I recommend a business page over a personal page. But at the end of the day, to me, I just want a hungry, or maybe in this analogy, a thirsty audience. If they're thirsty enough, give me a thirsty audience and I will win every single day. And that's a large part of what this course helps you to do, is where do you go to find a thirsty audience, and how do you find out what they're thirsty for? That's really the first step in module 2 of this course. Before we ever dig into here's how to build your bot and your mini chat stuff, it's let's go find your thirsty audience and let's find what they're thirsty for, so that you can focus on a message that will attract them to you. That's the secret. I hope that makes sense, because I just don't want you to get bogged down with, well, should I do Instagram or Facebook or YouTube? They all work. Everything works. Nothing doesn't. In other words, do you know what I mean by nothing doesn't, guys? Everything works. If you just try something, if I am holding a golf club with one hand and I have my eyes closed, if I swing it enough times, I'm eventually going to hit the ball. It may not go exactly where I want it, but it's going to work better than doing nothing. You know what doesn't work? Nothing. Nothing is what doesn't work when you do nothing. And so many people get bogged down on, well, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, personal page, profile. I don't know what to do, so I'll just do nothing. Well, I can guarantee you're going to get 0 results if you do nothing. But if you're like, all right, I'll go do Facebook for a while. I'll go do Instagram for a while. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right, guys. So anyway, go ahead, Ray. What were you going to say?
One of the things that you said in I don't know if it was an Inner Circle member review or something else, but I was taking copious notes for a few months, and you mentioned, beware, don't get information constipation. Yeah. Like, you need to take action. And that's what really got me into gear, because I looked back at all the notes that I had, and yet I hadn't taken any action. And so when the 130 came along, I was like, all right, this gives me, clearly I like time frames. So 6 days, 3 days, 30 days, and let's really just continue to take the action. And honestly, knowing that I am the brand and not the product has actually opened up a couple other areas of income for me, taking clients and being a personal coach with them for not just their physical well-being. So it's been really awesome to see. So thank you.
Yeah, well, and congratulations to you, Ray. I mean, you've taken serious immediate action. I mean, once you kind of had that epiphany that I did give this analogy that when you say you're overwhelmed, what you're really saying is, I am constipated with information, right? What happens, without being crude here, guys, what happens when you eat and eat and eat, but you never go to the bathroom? You get backed up, you get constipated. That's all overwhelmed. When you say, I'm so overwhelmed, I have information overwhelmed, all it means is that you have taken in too much information and you haven't done anything with it yet. And I guarantee every time that will cause information constipation. It will cause you to say, oh my God, I have no idea what to do, because you haven't done anything. Learning does not come through my course. I hate to say that, because I'm trying to get you to buy my course today. Learning comes from applying my course. If all you do is buy my course and watch the videos, you're going to be more confused in 2 weeks from now than you are today. But if you do like Ray did, and you pause the video and say, okay, I'm going to take action on this part of the video today, and then tomorrow I'll go take action on the next part, not only are you going to get great results, you're going to avoid that constipation, because you are letting stuff that comes in go out, and now you can actually process it and understand it, which doesn't happen when all you do is sit and learn all day long. So anyway, thank you for bringing up that point. Guys, I appreciate, thank you, Ray, again, for being here. I didn't expect to go for 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I do appreciate your time. You've been very generous. Can everybody who's still left give Ray a big virtual thank you? A thank you, Ray. Just say thanks to Ray in the group or in the comments for being here, and thank you for staying till the end. So I appreciate all of you for being here. I appreciate your time. I do know your time is valuable, and like Tammy said, this has been the best 2 hours. So I'm glad that it has been valuable, even if you haven't, purchased the product or now is not right time for you. I understand, but listen, I appreciate you guys, and I'm seeing a lot of. I appreciate you, Ray and Tyson. Thank you, Ray. Thanks. Thank you so much, Ray. How to eat an elephant, one bite at a time, right from Brian. Thank you, Ray and Brian, for sharing your time. I appreciate you, Tyson, for spending 2 hours and 45 minutes with us. Thank you, Tammy, for saying that. So, guys, with that, we're going to call today done. Go grab the course right now. You got about. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna eliminate those fast action bonuses here in a few minutes. So go grab it right now if you haven't done so. And I will see you guys inside the course if you purchased. And if you didn't purchase, then I hope you got value anyway. And we'll see you on the next free webinar that we do at some point down the road. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ray, and have a great day.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye.